Only part 33 of the Funny Hardcore series, and well, let's just hop straight into it. Still working on the Giga base. It'll probably be another 2 weeks or so before I get all the blocks to actually start building it. And averages about like 670 blocks per layer, so it will take even longer to place them down. But it will be worth it. It just is gonna take a little while. Now we're gonna go ahead and get some of this glass smelted for today, and then we'll go ahead and just get started. I don't know what I'd like to do, but I'd like to do something, so see how it goes. So I have got to watch my firebrick usage. Alright, yeah, sorry it's so late to start streaming. This one will probably just be a little bit shorter to compensate, but 'cause I don't really feel like doing a whole bunch today. I'm a little bit stressed out and I got some other things on my mind, like school. Like, whoa, I get to take an exam on Monday, and I hope I do good on it. Which is why I had to make sure I study. There we go, we'll send these on their way. And we'll just go ahead and we'll sort some stuff away in my inventory because I got some stuff that needs to be moved. Yeah, we'll do that a little later, hang on. I also gotta actually put in some stairs at some point. It was in here I had my obsidian. Nope. Wonder what I did with it. There it isn't, that's fucking coal. Wonder what I did with it, huh? Yeah, but I haven't been feeling the best lately. Like, my throat's been a little weird, and it was a little stuffy, but otherwise I've been fine. It's just been kind of so I haven't really done a whole bunch lately. Where would I have put that obsidian? Unless I don't have any, which would also make enough sense. So I don't think I have any, so we might have to go get some extra, and I'll have to try these out. Nope, I found it. There we go. We got all of our lava restocked, so that's good. Oh, you should be able to smelt for the rest of the sand, so that's good. Go ahead and put these away. I mean, yeah, you can see it working. It's nothing really too complicated, it's just a bunch of cauldrons and a bunch of dripstone, but it does help a lot. And first things first today, we're gonna go get a bunch of wood because I need wood. So we're gonna do that. In fact, we're putting all of our spruce saplings, and I could put a bone meal into put it in a light gray shulker box, and then we'll leave it there permanently. Now should be the brown one here. There we go. We got plenty of extra bones too, and bone meal. Supposed to be broken. That goes away. That goes away too. Alrighty, cool. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll just go bone meal a bunch of giant spruce trees again. We'll go cut them down. Yeah, I gotta have a bunch of wood for shulker boxes and all that. Because we're also gonna be going to we're going to the end first to try and go get a bunch of shulker shells, and then we'll go get our terracotta and glass quota for the day, and then we'll probably call it there, honestly, when that happens, because I kind of went to the grocery store today and I'm a little tired. I actually, walked there, and then I also had to carry it back, and I got a little bit more food than I should have, so I'm a little bit out of it right now. But that's not a problem for now. Where should I leave this? I'll probably leave this like right there, just that way it's a little bit better out of the way. Here we go. Try to make a fucking double tall torch, oops. That would have been a little cursed. Let's try and standardize some of this stuff too. Yeah, big torch would have been funny. Maybe I should have done it, but not that I could. Shoot, because I want all these to actually be nice and even, so we're gonna have to change up some stuff. See? There we go, it's a little better. And that's where I could actually start the beach and all that, so that'd be useful. Tried trenching out all the poo dirt, but it seems like it didn't actually do it, so I'll have to do that a little bit more. So give me a moment here. There we go. Hey, welcome Frank, how you doing? Just cutting down a bunch of trees and stuff, so I'm not really doing a whole bunch, but now I finally got a little farm. I think it's time I try and partition a bunch of this stuff too, so we go grab some cobble and all that. Ah, MCC, yeah, fair enough. I mean, MCC is supposedly like pretty solid too. I don't watch it a whole bunch, but you know, it can be fun to turn on every now and then, so that's fair. We're gonna trench this out and then actually, yeah, it's gotta go anyways. There we go. And I got like no dirt. I'm going to go back and get some more. Oh, we'll pick up some like cobbled deep slate and some dirt, and we'll make that look a little better. Ah, fair enough. I mean, I don't even really turn it on too much. I just watch like whenever it comes on, I'll just like watch like somebody from Hermitcraft usually, because that's pretty much who's in my subscription box. So sometimes I see like sometimes I'll like watch stream just to be curious, and not gonna lie, he's a little toxic because damn. Not all the time, but just enough to be a little off-putting, so. Oh, that is plenty of cobbled deep slate. That is plenty of dirt. We're gonna burn this podzol. There we go. And I'll have to dry those sponges out too. I think it'd be cool to start a raid here just because of how, like, big this place is. Because, I mean, I own a lot of land apparently, so like my beacon doesn't even reach all the way out, so I might have to get another like 6-pack like about here or something to actually reach all the way. Is a little cursed, but pretty cool. I'll just slide that there and that there. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Some are toxic to quite a big extent, but there's usually like some people that are like just fine enough. And I think too it is harder to like stream sometimes because if you're looking for stuff to say and then like just default to let's make fun of that guy Lamau because I ran out of things to say to be funny or something like that, and it's like, well, not funny and not cool. Holy shit, is today the day where I finally make this beach like actually look like a beach? Oh my god. I've been meaning to make this not completely stone for a little bit, but never really got around to it or had a reason to get around to it, but now I think I do. And I'm gonna need a lot of dirt for it. Well, let's see how this goes. I'm just gonna try and match it up with the natural stone that's already here, because that should kind of help give me a little bit more organic shit. And also it covers the stone, which doesn't look quite as appealing, so... And if I can always like trim the finer things too. Just gotta get some groundwork done. Here we go. It's at least a start. It does definitely need to have some work on it, but certainly isn't like, it's more bearable than what it just was, so I don't really mind it. But I really should actually have a proper way up here at some point. Not only I can get to, because the only reason it's like this is for like, you know, zombies and stuff, so I have like good peace of mind. Mainly creepers, honestly, but... You can see the tree farm's busy being a tree farm, so that's actually really helpful. There we go. Nice. If I don't want to make it look natural too, I could just have like pillar here, pillar there, and then line the top with cobblestone, and then have some like fences for some like lattice work, or cobblestone walls or something. Just so that way, you know, it covers up all this. So I'll have to figure that one out though if I want to do that. It's not really important right now. Not too important at least. Oh, and we're gonna start using cobbled deep slate here, so I know where to actually plant stuff. Won't be anything too fancy, it's just gonna be a bunch of, you know, rings around this, and then... But luckily it won't be too hard. Yeah, I don't got a lot planned today, I'm just gonna be doing, just some really basic stuff, you know, just getting this done. I'm gonna, because I need wood for shulker boxes, and then we're gonna go farm shulker shells again, because I need 100 boxes, and we've already got like 32 from yesterday. So I'm gonna get another 32 today, and then the other 32 another day, and then, you know, I'll just... Alright, ghost block that. Okay, that kind of happened. Ghost blocks are always fun. But, yeah, like I was saying, we'll get the shulker boxes today, and then we'll do our funny, like, daily quota of, like 5 boxes of terracotta was doable, but it didn't leave me really with enough energy to do the other, like, ones for sand and all that, so we'll just stick with 3 a day for each of them, just so, you know, I don't get burnt out. Because, yeah, it is possible for me to do more, but I don't know. It wouldn't exactly be the best idea. So much for making this look at least somewhat natural, so there goes that one, I guess, but oh well. I can always work on this later too, so I'm not too worried. There we go. And we'll work on it too to make it look a little better. I just need something in place. I have to grab that gunpowder. If I don't get it, I don't get it, but it's fine. Also, yeah, like spiders can climb over this stuff too, but you know, there's spiders that can't really do anything. The only thing that could do stuff is like a spider jockey, but the odds of that are tiny, and also even then it's just a skeleton, so it's really not too big a deal. It's really it's the creepers that I'm actually like worried about, because they can't kill me even when I'm like when I'm like this, but if they bring me down too low and then somehow like another one like just kind of combos with it, it'll pop my totem, and I don't want that to be I don't want that to be any real chance. So that's why I'm kind of overprotected with this stuff. Cause ooh, thunder. Ooh, actually, wait, thunder. Wait, hold on. Wait a second. Not thinking ahead right now. I have villagers that kind of hang out in the open, and it would not be exactly the best thing for them to get like jumpied. So I'm gonna have to sleep this one off. Plus, I don't even have channeling or anything, so it's not like it would help. But luckily, they're safe. I think there's enough up there, and I also have a lightning rod pretty close on that bit over there. So if something were to happen, and like if a lightning did strike, I don't think it'd actually kill them or be able to kill them. But I'd rather be safe than sorry when it comes to those guys, because they weren't hard to move, but they were definitely kind of painful to do it. It was just boring and tedious, so it's something I don't ever want to have to do again if I can avoid it. And I know I can avoid it, so that's what we're doing. It seems like there's a spider over there or something. There we go. Hey, woo, we got a tree farm now, so that's cool. and helpful because I need one. I might have to make a new bow soon. It's fine. It's at like half durability, and I don't do a lot of fighting anymore, but still want a better peace of mind for that, so get a little bit more dirt. I'm gonna burn this podzol. Well, I'll burn some of it, I guess, but not all of it. Yeah, that should be. Thinking about actually having a proper schedule for streaming, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to commit to something like that, just because I just kind of stream whenever, but it's usually like once a day or so. It's it's like fairly late, but it's not that late to be like really bad. Still thinking about it. Here we go. Hey, there we go. That ought to do it. Guess I actually do need to I'll switch this out with Podzol just for consistency. It don't look terrible actually, like with it being like this. It just when it was everywhere, it looked mad. But as long as I can kind of confine it to like one area, I think it won't be too terrible. And it makes a bit more sense with the kind of tree farming and stuff I have to do, so I can dig it. And I won't really think about making this place look too nice either, because, well, it's a tree farm. It's not really supposed to look that nice, but at least tolerable. I mean, they're all nice and neat and, like, organized, so makes enough sense. But I don't need it to do much more than that, so. Well, I guess let's get to cutting. I already got 4 stacks of logs just from 2 trees, so I might not even need to cut down all of them today, but I should at least try. I don't have to do this again for a while. That is a lot of logs already. I mean, I really shouldn't even need any more, but might as well keep going, so hey. I mean, seriously, look how much we got already. At 7 and almost 8 stacks, so realistically I don't really need this much, but I mean I might as well have it just to have it. I'm always gonna need a ton of wood, but between shulker boxes and like hoppers and anything that involves chests like at all. We'll just cut down these next 3 and then we'll leave the other 8 just where they are. Because I don't want to have to keep cutting these for another like 10-20 minutes, you know. It don't take too long, but it's long enough to where I don't want to have to worry about it. Alright, last tree for today, and then we'll go start getting the terracotta and the glass. I need 3 or 4 of each, but probably at least 3. Definitely at least 3, but because I don't want to burn myself out too bad. And then we'll have to go get our shulker boxes too. We'll have to get more shells rather. We'll just go grab another like stack of those from the shulker shell farm in the end, and then we'll pretty much be set for today. That should do it. Oh, let's see what we got. We got a couple stacks of log, just like 11 and like a quarter or a third rather. So we did pretty good. Oh, excuse me, I actually have a spare one in here, so it was more like 12 and a third. So again, very good, very respectable amount. That's pretty good. But I mean, yeah. I'll go ahead and just like take a stack to keep on me, and then we'll leave those there, and then we'll go put these back away in the base. Random chicken. Oh, I also farm sea pickles, by the way. That's why that's there, in case I ever need more lime green dye. The only dye that I have a harder time getting a hold of is like normal green and like black, because if I want black, I either have to make a squid farm or a wither rose farm, which both are doable. But also, welcome Splat Gaming. How you doing? Playing funny black game. And I'm also a little tired right now, so sorry it's gonna sound even duller than usual, but can't do a lot about it because I'm a little. Oh, this is the funny bulk box that I have. Oh, I appreciate the kind comment though. I mean, I'm surprised honestly, because like the only reason I'm doing this is because I just wanted to play Minecraft and I wanted to play hardcore. So I was like, well, I'm gonna be doing it, so might as well stream it. And I just kind of sit here and play the funny game, and it's don't do a whole bunch. But right now we're heading out to the end because I have to go get more poker shells, so that's gonna take a little bit. Just about another stack or so should be fine. Oh, appreciate the follow though. Yeah, again, thank you. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I'm here just about every day if you'd ever like to come back too. So it just kind of happens whenever. But I appreciate the kind words. Mean a lot to me, you know. Is boat. I think I've almost got all the YouTube stuff figured out because I'm archiving all these VODs just to have. So once I get all that figured out, I'll probably start making them public actually. Of course, nobody should ever go back and watch them because they all fucking, suck on account of it just, being a VOD from a live stream. And, who realistically watches like an entire like live stream front to back that's already been like recorded. So they're just there to archive. I mean, if you'd ever like to go back and do that, then they're there. But, you know, Because I don't really plan on dying in this world for a while. Because now that I have all this stuff set up, I don't think I really can die. Well, I probably can, but it's just gonna take a little bit more to kill me nowadays, so still might happen if I'm particularly stupid one day, but like I almost was in that ocean monument not too long ago. I would have just popped a totem when I had a spare on me, but still would not have been a good idea to die. We got good durability. I still got spare enchantment bottles, which I should actually go buy more of at some point from those clerics. Never know when I'm going to need more of them. Now we should be pulling up on the Poker Shell farm here in a couple hundred blocks, so should be an end city. Oh, there it is. And then it's just kind of up that water stream that I had leaving around. There we go. This farm's nothing really too special or anything. It's just a oh, I should have definitely. I've got to replace this with a trapdoor. Shoot. Wait. Also, that was what I was worried about. Yeah, I have got. I should have just landed up on top of it and then came back down because I literally have a staircase for that reason. We're gonna fix this really quickly. Won't take too long. Just so that way I can get in and out a little bit easier. Luckily, didn't actually go for any of my redstone because that was the other thing I was worried about too. Yeah, we got enough spares for potion making and all that, so I don't gotta worry about that. And let's just get to it. We're here to hopefully get a stack's worth of shulker shells. And I got enough stuff in place in case this one dies. You shouldn't, but they do have a habit of being difficult sometimes. So, where the second floor? That's where. Turn off the F3 menu for now. And hopefully it keeps up that pace with the nice raids because, you know, I wanted to be here for as long as yesterday. That took like an hour. And again, I did get like a stack of shells in like an hour, so honestly fairly respectable for a farm like this. Alright, he's hit himself 4 times, and he might kill himself. Oh, I got very lucky. But yeah, he almost killed himself, so can't be having that. This also doubles as kind of a bootleg XP farm, just so I can get my elytra fixed up while I'm kind of having to do this. So, because I got enough protection for, they don't really hurt enough to really do anything, which is nice. Just so I always got some just full durability elytra. Although I do actually have a spare elytra I've been meaning to enchant for a while. I haven't really had a need for it, so. But it's always probably good to have a spare in case I somehow lose this one. Like I throw it in lava or something by accident. Not that that'll ever happen. Or I hope it wouldn't happen, but Now, sometimes they can make 2 when there's enough bullets like that are stockpiled, but it's kind of rare, so I don't ever, like, count on it. So... But we're already an eighth of the way there for today, so that's at least good. Just another 56 shells. Which is a lot, but definitely doable. I'm finally getting a little bit better RNG compared to yesterday, so that helps too. It's already almost all fixed up, that's good. No drop, that's alright. And another no drop, that's not good. I wish it worked like how it does on Bedrock, where it actually works, you know, like every other mob drop in the game, where you just have a chance of getting more of it, you know. All this does is make it so you go from like a 50% chance of getting a shell to like a 68 and a quarter or something like that. So even then it's not particularly worth it. It does help over enough time, but it's still just annoying. It should be at the bottom floor here. Yep. In fact, it actually seems to have made a clone of itself. There we go. That's where that's coming from. Looks like the elytra should be fixed up by now. Yep. We can go ahead and change that. Hey, we're a quarter of the way there now, so that's good. Another 48 to go. They like being a little weird sometimes too, which I don't like. But I can't do anything about it, so... Above. Here we go. So give me a moment here. Yep, grinding a ton of shulkers. Luckily it ain't too bad. I honestly should be building a farm for this, like an actual proper like automatic farm. But honestly it's not the worst thing in the world, so... But I need another 2 stacks of shulker shells. So I'm getting a stack today and then a stack the next day. I'm working on a very big project and I get a lot of boxes for them. but I'm about a third of the way there, and then I gotta go out and mine a bunch of sand and terracotta, so... Oh, two of them this time. That's lucky. So I'm a little bit bad at PvE, so won't ever see me doing anything too stellar with fighting, but it's usually enough to get me by, so... Also kind of helps when you have, like, good gear and all that, too. And it does what it needs to do. Oh, well, because I need all the terracotta and sand, well, mainly glass. I'm building basically a very big sphere, like a comically large sphere, like 256 block diameter sphere, so I need 170,000 blocks to build it. And then I'm gonna be building a column that goes all the way down to the bottom of the world, for support for it. And then I'm gonna fill the entire thing with like a massive city. I mean, I have to build the shell of it first, which is what that sphere and that column are, but once I get them actually built, we're going to be building like a huge like city. Because again, like something of that scale is just insane, and I want to cram it with basically like New York, more or less, just with how many buildings and how many different kinds of buildings they're going to be, you know? But to really effectively do it, I'm going to need a lot of shulker boxes. Like, I've already got, like, pretty much everything else done. Like, I've got a wither skeleton farm, I got this here shulker shell farm, I've got there's another shulker somewhere, I'm missing one. But I've got, the shulker shell farm, I've got an iron farm, I got, like, perfect armor, I got a fully done trading hall with a zombie in it and everything, so I can cure them. So, like, the only ones I'm missing are, like, a guardian farm, like a gold farm, and some other weirdo stuff here and there. But I'm saving those to kind of break up the pacing a little bit later, because I'm definitely going to get bored, and, just building that's going to take a long time, so... It's going to take longer to build it than it is to gather everything. I have to be a little careful, but... Yeah, I gotta make a comically large sphere and a column, and then just cram it with, like, an entire city into it, so it's kind of like a shoebox diorama. I guess a snow globe's another good way to describe it, but... Either way, it's gonna be very cool, hopefully, once I can pull it off, if I can pull it off, but, I don't think I'll die beforehand, but I'm kind of expecting that I am, which is why it's so out of reach. I just want something good to work towards for a long time. If I don't get too bored of this world and, go try again. Did I leave another one? Nope, this one's just being stubborn. I might have to heal this. Yeah, he keeps dinging himself too hard, so I might have to use a splash potion of healing over there. Nope, clone, we're good. 27 out of 64, so we're about halfway there or so. I've been streaming in this place for about 75-ish hours. I'm currently on day 287 here, so... And I only play this when I want to stream, so all this has been, like, on camera and, like, documented, all that kind of stuff, so... But yeah, it's been about 75 hours and, 287 in-game days, so... I got a lot done for that time, too. But there's still plenty more to do. Yeah, I mean, I know, right? Like, this actually, believe it or not, this isn't my first hardcore world, but that doesn't mean I didn't die in the other one, because I didn't. I just played that one privately, and then I got good at the game with that. I've also been playing Minecraft for a long time, too, like pretty much everybody else, so... I'm at least, like, solid enough at the game, and, And so, I mean, it really isn't that much that I got done, because I use a lot of YouTube tutorials for, like, stuff like this. Although this one isn't exactly a YouTube tutorial. This was from like a short video from like one of the snapshots when this was first introduced. Just kind of as a proof of concept. So I just kind of like used that, and I credited them too, obviously. But that was when I was actually building this. But I ended up just kind of like modifying it just a tiny little bit. Like I added like the sticky piston and the instant health dispenser, and the second floor and all that kind of stuff. Just so that way it's easier, because it's easier for me to build this than it is to build a like an actual like farm for this kind of stuff. But for like the iron farm, for example, and like the trading hall, that stuff was like YouTube tutorials, so that stuff usually helps out a lot. But other than that, it's pretty much been all me, like the whole base designing, because I actually have a house that I live in for once, things of that nature. But I mean, it is still pretty impressive for how short of a time it is, but it's only going to get that much crazier if I can get that giga base done, although it's going to take a long time. So I don't know when it will be done. All I know is that I'd like for it to be done, but I can't promise that. So hey, maybe it'll happen, who knows. It's just well, it might take a little bit of time, like another 100-something hours. So because again, I need 170,000 blocks worth of materials to build it, and that's just for the shell of the sphere. The column is going to take more blocks too, and then I've also got to like build the entire like city with like all these other different blocks, and like from the ground up. I don't even like really test any of this stuff in creative. Like I just kind of am just gonna go for it, like building wise, like kind of figure it out. But because of how much space I'm gonna have to work with, feel free to leave a suggestion on something you might want to see built in there, because I'm gonna have so much empty space. I gotta fill it with something. So not that it's gotta be like completely like cluttered, but 256 diameter sphere is a lot to work with. Like seriously, a lot. Like I would use like Amulet or MC Edit or something to like make one, so I could actually get like a better scope for how big that is. But problem is, I'm kind of a dumbass when it comes to that stuff. So basically, just found a YouTube video in my own free time that kind of like shows off that kind of scale, and it's big. Like can barely fit it all into like render distance, kind of big. So I think like cramming a city into there and then having like the top half will be made out of glass, so it makes like shit not spawning pretty easy, but the bottom half is made out of red terracotta because it's easy to get. So but I think once it's all done it'll look really cool, and I might even just like stylize it like a Pokeball, because that's literally what it's gonna look like, is like a Pokeball, on account of it being red on the bottom half and then glass on the top half, and glass looks kind of white, so might roll with that. But I want to make 4 like half like scale versions of these two, kind of like also jutting out of the ocean. But problem with that is I just need to focus on the big one first and get that filled, and then I can build the smaller ones. I'm not building 5 of these like pretty much in a row. Oh yeah, dude, like I'm not very good with mod stuff. Like I'm learning a little bit more here and there, but I mean all of it all half of it is like putting stuff like in a specific folder half the time, but it's taken me a little bit, but I mean I'm getting there. So but I don't really play modded Minecraft a whole bunch. Also, this guy might kill himself, so I'm a little worried. I keep backup shulkers in there too in case that ever does happen, because it's actually happened twice, but it's usually rare enough, and I usually catch it so it doesn't happen. But yeah, modded Minecraft is funny, but doing all the behind the scenes stuff for it is not. So that's why I don't usually play it, honestly. But I just end up playing like just pure vanilla. I do not have an Enderman farm. In fact, I will. That's probably one of the only farms I don't think I will ever build, solely because of the fact that like, what do you use them for XP and you use them for like Ender pearls, but like Ender pearls are fine, but I don't need that many Ender pearls ever unless I wanted to make like 80 billion Ender chests, or like make a ton of end crystals. And I just don't have a need for either of those. And well, for the experience, I have a raid farm too, so I don't need the experience through an Enderman farm. I mean, I'm level 58 from like a raid farm, so I'm honestly doing fine on that front. But Now I'm never gonna build an Enderman farm, and I don't have one now because I will never build one. Also because knowing me, I'm gonna do the classic funny moment and forget to have my elytra and end up like killing myself being a total dumbass. So that's also the other reason why I don't have it, because well, I'm just asking for trouble. Like I don't need it and I don't need to build it, so and it's asking for trouble if I end up making it, so I will never make one. That's if I wanted to. Oh, see, that was the other thing too. So I wasn't paying enough attention, and it kind of teleported out, but like cloned itself in a weird way. So it teleported out and then kind of died. Which, again, this is why we have backup shulkers just for that situation. So yeah, see, I don't want to risk that because I've seen that happen too many times between like YouTube compilations and just something I would do by accident. So I'm not even gonna bother risking it honestly. 'Cause there's just even like there's not even enough value for me to want to build one. You know what I mean? Like they're fine, but like yeah, I mean like honestly, it's not too bad as long as you can catch it fast enough. Because there is kind of like a point of no return when it comes to those, where like if you miss it, that's just it. But it's not worth the risk for me personally. And like you only use it for ender pearls and like an XP farm. But if I want ender pearls, I'll just go do it like a manual way, or like So I'm not really too worried about it, honestly. I don't ever need that many ender pearls, so now F3 and E. There we go. So then we get him in the funny hole, and then we go ahead and seal him back up with glass. He should actually be healed because I always heal him beforehand. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this guy to clone himself, and then we're gonna go ahead and drag the clone. Come on. There we go. So we're gonna go ahead and drag this clone out to the he seems to be hitting himself a little bit, so I have to be a little careful, but yeah, all I do is I just take a boat and then I go boat him back into the funny cell, and then I just heal him up a little bit. But this is one of those farms where I should probably like actually put more time and effort so I can get it in the overworld, and then it'll always produce them whenever I'm doing other stuff too, like with the iron farm. But like once I'm done using it after these next couple of days, and I don't really know if I'm gonna ever need it. I mean, I said that the last time too, to be fair, but I think I probably mean it this time. But there we go, we got a spare. But yeah, that's why we always bring spares, because gonna need them. Because I would rather not risk having to go. Because I have plenty of extras in the end city, as you can see, but again, not something I'd like to particularly chance. Because it was already a pain getting it from this top pillar all the way over to here, so I can't even imagine the struggle it's going to be getting it. I did it by boat the first time, so I'll do it by minecart the next time, if that ever happens, but considering I have 4 spares at any given moment, I would really have to have screwed up bad for it to, like, come to that, so... I don't think that'll ever happen, but... it's not too bad. At least I got choices if it does happen. Here we go. But this is, yeah, this is the second hardcore world I have. The other one is still active, like, I haven't died in that one, but, like, I just haven't really sat down and played it properly in, like, months, so it's kind of, like, emotionally dead to me, but not, like, actually dead, so... this stuff hasn't really been too hard. Oh, well... oh, that one did teleport correctly, good. I've been playing Minecraft for... okay, he teleported up there. That's why that was weird. But I've been playing since, oh, I don't know. I'd like to say I started back in middle school, which was like 2014, 2013, something like that, with Pocket Edition, when it was still called Pocket Edition, and like, and then, my first console edition of Minecraft was on the Wii U, funny enough. Although I did play it on the PS3 before at like a friend's house a long time ago. But I've only just gotten Java within the past like 2 years, and then I played on Nintendo Switch Edition with Bedrock too for a while. But yeah, it's been about since 2014, and then I do like this stuff ain't really technical per se, but it's not really like easy stuff to do. So then like doing stuff like this usually kind of helps me get good at the game. The other thing too is just I've been playing for a while and I usually just play survival. Like I used to play creative when I was a kid, but I just like survival a bit more. So if there's anything wrong with creative, I just don't really build a whole bunch. Also, my keyboard is being very funny. I just replaced the batteries yesterday, and there is no way they're already dead. So that kind of is a little annoying. But yeah, I've been playing for quite a while. Yeah, I mean, like, creative's good if I have like some things I want to test. Like, I built like a smaller mock-up of like the shulker shell farm, like in the creative world, for example. And like, messing around with command blocks is usually fun too. But like, I only really use creative to like test stuff, like like seeing how like a house looks, or like trying to figure out how to build a mega base, all that stuff. That's actually what I ended up using to figure out the block palette for the Giga base that I'm working on. Because I needed something that could be insta-mined, but also like look decent. I knew I wanted glass for the top half, so for like the bottom half, I was considering like smooth sandstone or like stone bricks. And then I eventually did settle on terracotta because I actually knew where a mesa was. But then, I was like, well, what color terracotta? So then I also had to figure out what color actually matched with it, and also which one was like feasible to dye if I couldn't actually just mine it. But then I ended up settling on red terracotta because I'm in like a Discord server and all that, and I was like, hey, red or blue? And then the first person said red, so I was like, okay, red terracotta. And yeah, I have to get like 85,000 blocks of red terracotta and then another 85,000 of glass. So you know, just normal glass, not dyed glass. Although I could dye it white, but I think I like normal glass better, to be honest. So. But creative is good for testing like some building stuff and all that, but so it's good to have like a creative world that kind of runs parallel to like your main like survival world. But otherwise, it's just kind of eh. Oh, and the other thing with this world specifically, not the old one that I used to play on, or again that I still have, I just don't play on anymore, but this world specifically, I don't know what the seed is, and because of that, I'm not actually using chunk base this time around, and that's what usually tells like where structures are, stronghold, mine shaft, all that funny business. I just decided to not do that this time around. It has definitely made my life harder. It took 2.5 hours of pillaring to go get this first elytra, and then I found the second elytra a lot quicker, obviously. But like, it's been like a nice change of pace to not have to use like an app like 24/7 for that stuff. Like, it definitely would have made things a lot easier, but I've still been able to get everything else I've needed just by exploring on like a boat or something. But man, it would have been nice for packed ice. Because it took me a while to get to find an iceberg biome, but I eventually did, and All right, he might kill himself here. I'm a little worried about that. I don't want to have to go bring in another backup. Yeah. And I need to brew more instant health 2 splash potions because I'm kind of running out in there. So we'll go ahead and kill this guy, and then we'll go ahead and brew some spare potions. I got plenty of materials for it. That's why all this is here, funny enough. Let's see here. We want our glass bottles. We got enough fuel in these brewing stands. We got our glistening melons. And we got our glowstone dust to make it stronger. An actual glowstone. There we go. We got enough gunpowder for right now too, but I will have to get some. And we need nether wart. Our melons. And there we go. Not mean to throw that, but oh well. And I also carry around some actual instant health potions for myself, like, this one I got here. Never know when you'll need it. Sometimes you just need some fast healing, and no other good way to do it. I will just do 6 sets of them, so go ahead and put away some of that gunpowder, put away the bottles. And here we go. Oh yeah, like they're like when they're built over the void, they are like way too productive, honestly. Like, again, they're good for like XP, and it is kind of funny to like see like oh, you've killed like only like 100 spiders or like a couple hundred creepers, and then like you just ominously like massacred like every Enderman under the sun, and it's just like yeah, thought we do a little trolling, you know how it is, but. I think Enderman farms are fine for what they're worth, but I feel like they're kind of overrated to some extent, just because like they are simple enough for XP, but like you can just go build a raid farm if you want a lot of XP and you get more useful drops out of it. And it's just about the same difficulty to build anyways. But they got enough merit. See, I used to be level 84, or actually about level 90 with a raid farm, but then I ended up, well, I made a golden helmet, and like a ridiculously good golden helmet. Because I just wanted one when I went to the nether to go catch a piglin, so I ended up not even using it, so it was kind of a waste of everything, but it's whatever. Not too big a deal. We'll take these back. And last little bit is the gunpowder. We're at instant health 2 now. But once all these get brewed up, we're just gonna go ahead and move them into the, just into that barrel over there. And I need to bring more gunpowder at some point too, because I only have 2 left. That's the other thing too about raid farms. They also double as witch farms, and like triple as like emerald farms, and then they're also like an XP farm and a totem farm and all that other funny business. But it's really nice to have it double as a witch farm because one of the only worlds that I actually have rockets in like consistently. The sugarcane's not hard to get. It's just the gunpowder that always sucked for me to try and get. But now I don't have to worry about that as much. Could have some that stay. Yeah. That's good. That should be good enough. Just another 11 shells, and then we'll head back to the overworld. And then I gotta grind for about 3 shulker boxes or so of red terracotta and another 3 of sand. Again, keyboard's being a little wonky, so. But yeah, there are some farms in this game that make this game like, way too easy, not gonna lie. Oh, that's actually one other thing I've always kind of wanted to build, but never really wanted to. Like an actual proper creeper farm is like, I know you need cats for them, which is always why I specifically went out of my way to avoid building them, because that would mean that like, I'd have to go tame cats for it, and like, that's fine, but I just ended up making a witch farm at one point, because they're also pretty nice too, but I don't know, maybe I should build a creeper farm one day just for the fun of it. Might be a nice different challenge, I think if I can just get 2 cats and then I breed them and all that, it should be fine. Like I breed them while I'm up there, so it won't be as painful to do. True. Yeah, they still have that thing with the trapdoors, right? Because they're like smaller than like zombies and skeletons, so they can spawn where they can't, and then you just use carpets for like to stop spiders spawning and all that. That is still a thing. That's good, huh? I might do the water-based timer then, because like it's a lot better than it used to be. Because you used to have to use like dispensers or like I think pistons were still kind of viable, but because they were pistons, they were just weird. But now you can use trapdoors for that. Just waterlogged trapdoors. So I might be able to do that. Cause I might give that a shot then. Because I actually just got a bunch of wood today. Because I actually finally have a tree farm. When I say tree farm, it's just more like a place where I grow a bunch of trees and then I just go cut them down. They ain't like some crazy redstone farm or nothing. And it don't need to be, so that's alright. But yeah, maybe, because it's gonna take me a long time to build that sphere, so when I kind of want to take like an off day, I'll probably build a creeper farm then. I'll have to find a good enough design for it, and it doesn't need to be stellar or nothing, it just needs to work, so it shouldn't be too big a deal. But that might be a nice change of pace. Especially if I can get all the gunpowder, just, while I'm at my base instead of having to go out to the raid farm, and then there's only like 3 witches or something that spawn half the time, because I don't usually get Bad Omen 5. Because half the time they end up dying by hitting the ground, so... But luckily we're almost done grinding these shulker shells, because I'm kind of tired of doing this, so... Won't be too much longer. Oh yeah, sure. There's not a whole bunch of stuff to really show off. I'm still working on my I guess technically it's now kind of considered a starter base, but it's still going to be where I'm living. Just the big base, the Funny Giga base, is just going to look cool. But it's kind of just a lot of dirt right now, but it's dirt put up in kind of a cool way, and eventually it's going to get switched out with like colored terracotta in some parts, so it doesn't look like. All right, now see, I need to pay attention because one of them has gone and goofed. So we're gonna kill like this one here, and then we're gonna just save the other one. There we go. Did he clone or did he just hit himself again? Oh, he did clone, huh? There we go. Last one broken. But yeah, my world's not terribly impressive. Like, my base is at least solid. Like, it took a while to do a bunch of the terraforming, but I've certainly done worse, so... Alright, you know what? We're just gonna drive this into here. You fucking cloning again? Stop it, bro. Alright, cool. You fucking broke the boat, too. Not appreciated. There's another one up there too, and then they cloned again. Aye. Now we should just be able to move this one back in and then just heal them up. So should be okay. But here we go. Just needed to be kind of safely in there. But yeah, my world's not like particularly jaw-dropping or nothing, but I'm still kind of working on that part a little bit. But it's at least pretty solid, so I mean, I'm pretty proud of it. But not really a lot happens in the end. Like, the only notable thing I got here is this, shulker shell farm, or if you can even call it a farm. I mean, well, it pretty much is, honestly. I mean, it's got me 63 shells, and it's, I've been streaming for only an hour and 22 minutes, so I've only been here an hour because I farmed wood for the first, like, 20 minutes. So honestly, it's done its job. About a stack of shells per hour is nothing to sneeze at. Especially with how simple it is. Oh, okay, and he's gone. Oh, there he is. Die. There we go. We'll pick up one more shell just for the hell of it. Why not? Because I want it to be even. Actually, he hasn't dropped it. Okay. Go. There we go. Alright, we got all of our shells. We are out of here. But, yeah, nothing really happens here in the end, obviously, so we'll kind of, like, gloss over that one pretty quickly. I really focused on a bunch of infrastructure stuff for the first couple of, like, months. Not really months, because I've only been streaming since, like, the end of February, so this world's only existed for about a month, like, in real time. But, yeah, I really just focused on getting a bunch of infrastructure stuff first, so like the villager trading hall with the zombie in it, which is very dirt, all dirt. Pretty much all of it's dirt, so it doesn't look that good. It does work, so that's all I needed. We got that. We got the raid farm, which has actually got like thought and effort put into it. I did do netherite mining, but again, it's just netherite mining. It's nothing really pretty either. Oh, but I did get a bunch of packed ice tunnels on the nether. That's my dumbass did not build them on the bedrock ceiling like I definitely should have. And trust me, I have regretted that decision because, I'm trying to keep it all at the same level, except for the one I'm gonna have to build way later when 1.19 comes out. But I had to go through so much lava to like, like make it all like air and all that instead of lava, and then it took a while to do. But it was worth it though. It's all like pretty down low in the world, and it's nice. Yeah, it's like a toilet. That's crazy. But let's see. But yeah, the end is just the end. We just got that Shulker Shell farm. I mine obsidian out of here sometimes, so. But one other thing though is, well, the only other thing I guess is right under here is, where I kill the wither. So you just spawn in the wither, get stuck in the bedrock. I just beat him to death. I beat him legit the first time by like, putting him deep underground in like a room, and then I just hit him to death. But I don't need to do that anymore. But yeah, funny base. We got beacon effects because I now have 6 beacons, so that's cool. This is just a room for now. I gotta fill this with stuff, but I'm not really worried about it. This needs to look a little bit better, but I'm, again, not too worried about it. But, a lot of this is just terraforming, where basically, like, what I did was just make a ton of this, like, kind of flat and cubic style kind of shit, and then the big problem is that because it's so flat sometimes and it's all dirt, it doesn't look very appealing. Like, it's good from quite a number of angles, but, like, it definitely would help to break some of this up with some different colors of like terracotta and things like that. Here's a potato farm I planted in case I wanted baked potatoes. I promptly have not used this, like not even once. I ended up being able to buy golden carrots pretty quickly. Just some more base stuff. I left this whole side pretty much completely natural because I didn't actually feel like doing any terraforming over here. So natural beach kind of goes into that. These need to be thickened, but they look fine enough from a different angle. But I gotta make them thicker and actually look good, so. Yeah, just more natural stuff over here. I, like, dug a very large, like, canal through, like, the swamp and, like, the spruce bits. I'm gonna make this look more natural at some point. But, yeah, you can kind of see how it can look, like, pretty good from, like, certain angles. And once those are bulkier and taller, they'll look a lot better, too. And the beacon beam does kind of get in the way at some point, but, I think it's about one of these trees is where I normally go to show it off. And it looks really cool at night because I like the way it's all lit up and all that. But, and yeah, the beacon beam does not help. Oh, and I blocked my funny, like, I usually go to like one of these dark oak trees, but I think it's still salvageable. But I mean, yeah, you can kind of see what I'm going for with just, all blocky, it's all terraced. It's good for like farming and all that when I actually do put in a bunch of farms. But, you notice how like we have like some really large like parts that are like flat. So I want to break them up with like color. So I'm going to be using dyed terracotta at some point. Like some of these smaller chunks are fine to kind of leave as is, or I'll figure it out. But because it's all dirt, kind of the placehold. Because I like it being cubic like this, I just have to figure out how to break it apart. Like you kind of see with like the cobblestone and the normal stone, it's kind of fine. Also, I do appreciate the follow from you though. Really appreciate it, Jane. But I mean, it's fine. Like this is fine. Like you can kind of see where the base kind of started to take shape, and then I got kind of sidetracked with a bunch of other stuff. Also, iron farm, but and then tree farm I just worked on today a little bit. I'll make this a little better at some point. But this used to all be podzol up here, so I had to change all of it out completely by hand to grass. So that took a while, and then I need to make these mountains look a little bit thicker too. But um I'm trying to, you can kind of see also what I'm going for, where I'm trying to like outline it with the spruce logs, and then I'll like actually put in some color to help kind of like break it up. But yeah, it looks fine the way it is now, but it's gotta like, I just need something to give it a little bit more color. Maybe not even color, it might be a texture thing too, honestly. Like I might have to mix some coarse dirt to the sides to kind of help break it up, because you can see it's just, it's too flat and it's too like one color, like not even that it's flat per se, but there's nothing to break up the actual like walls with like texture work. So I think I've got like you can use like brown concrete powder, coarse dirt, other brown kind of like gravelly, sandy, not gravel specifically, but like those kinds of blocks. Fuck this guy, get his ass. But oh, and I also grow sea pickles down here too. I'll go ahead and switch this out. But yeah, we got the funny iron farm. It's built just close enough, so it's pretty much always rendered and like loaded whenever I'm out by my base. So it you know it produces a good chunk of iron. Like that's what's powering all my beacons actually. So, but as you can see, it's pretty solid. Does what it needs to do, and that's all I ask of it. So that looks like it's another stack of iron block. So I better craft these back up. Here we go. And then we'll go ahead and take this. Hey, another stack in 22. That's pretty good. In fact, I actually have so much iron I have to put in its own separate shulker box. So, but I do like the style of this base. It's just like basic texture work, and then also like some of these are going to be converted into buildings. Like I don't know which ones, but I do want some of these to be more like actual buildings, and then some of it's still like that kind of terrain. And then I need to like texture the walls and stuff so they're actually broken up and they look nice. But it's at least tolerable for now. Like it's not a complete eyesore, but you know, iron is also nice too, and a spare beacon. But yeah, here's the furnace array that I use. Oh, I seem to have run out of fuel. Oh, it looks like it's good because you know, well, ran out of fuel for a reason because I finished smelting all that glass. In fact, these are all still good. So, but yeah, I just built this like yesterday or 2 days ago. Just some really basic, you know, furnace array and all that. Nothing too special. We got a giant pit of lava to farm lava in, and I have got to empty this. Wow, okay. Maybe I don't have to empty it. These are 64 cauldrons, by the way. So it's a hefty amount of lava to say the least, but I need it because I've smelt a bunch of glass in here. Well, I mean, you could have kind of already saw that, so. But, yeah, glass. And we're taking that. Go ahead and put away a bunch of this. And then I'll put this away in the storage room because I'll show that off too. But I need all the shulker boxes to store. Like I need 50 boxes worth of glass and red terracotta for this project, so that's why I'm actually going out and farming boxes every day. Luckily, tomorrow should be the last day I have to do that, but still something I had to get done. Just some basic storage room. Now, they're all, you know, all the item frames are dye colors, but that's because what I do is I sort them kind of by like either color or like they're all color coded to some extent. So pink are like my valuables that I actually like want. So like, you know, like gunpowder, for example, which actually we need that. You know, we got like a bunch of like metals inside of one pink shulker box, inside of another, just some like miscellaneous stuff that I think is valuable. So there's no real rhyme or reason to what is and isn't valuable, but that's kind of not the point. Like, you know, green is like the box I store all like various foods and things like that or animal products. You know, lime green is the like kind of nature box. So I got my dyes, got the things that make dyes, a bunch of saplings, you know, sugar cane. You know, gray is just your stones, all that kind of stuff. Black is just like some various nether blocks that I have. So like nether bricks. Because netherrack goes with its own separate things. I always have a lot of it. Yellow's for some like basic like light based stuff, so like torches or like coal. You got magenta for some like end stuff, which that's where that's going. Cyan for some like ocean stuff, so usually like you know prismarine and all that. And then magenta, or this is purple. These are just for non-stackables. I didn't feel like doing anything special for those. And then our whites are for like our like sand and glass and that kind of block. Flint too. And then you know for wool and like anything wool related to like the bed and the shears. I actually enchanted the shears with Unbreaking 3 and Mending, fun fact, same with flint and steel. Our reds are for like, you know, redstone blocks or redstone stuff rather, and then like netherrack, a lot of netherrack, and then our poppies that I use for dyes. and then our browns are like dirt and wood pretty much, and some like mob drops. So they're kind of it's kind of a very like vague like organization of this kind of stuff, but it works for me, and you know I'm the only person who plays on this world. Spoiler alert. So kind of as long as it works for me and I understand what the hell's going on, that's all I'm really worried about. So this has to go. And I've actually got to dye my shulker boxes properly. That stays on me. Goes away. And we'll go ahead and put the end stone away. Oh, and this light gray one is for all my empty shulker boxes, so whenever I need more, I can just, you know, have them. But I'll have to dye them too. I'm gonna dye these ones red so I actually know which one are marked, but you know, red terracotta box, and then we got a box of just glass. Because this is all stuff that's related to that very big project. So pretty much this whole thing has to be filled with like shulker boxes that are filled with terracotta up to about here or so. And then I'll be able to start building it. Yeah, we got 2 stacks of shells and then some extra, so we got 66 boxes worth of stuff. So pretty respectable. That's magenta. Okay, here we go. But yeah, I mean, and then just you know more bulk storage in case I ever needed it. But otherwise, it's all pretty much color coded, and then you know different block types go into different colors. So like the iron is like white, you know the packed ice is light blue, red is for fireworks, you know orange for totems of undying, then pink is for you know general valuables, and then soul sand is brown. So that's why that one's brown. But old enchantment area I don't use anymore. We got our funny grindstone. We got a smithing table for netherite stuff. Anvil that's about to break. And then you know, and then directly down here we have the old funny Breaking Bad reference where I may or may not brew drugs and or potions. So, but yeah, it's all potions. So nothing too special. I just you know got some weakness potions, instant health. I did have fire resistance, but I've kind of drank all of them. So I'll have to actually make more at some point because I actually use them quite a bit in the nether, so they do come in handy. And then whenever I get any extras, I just, you know, dump them in there. Oh, and actually Ender Chest tour. I have a box on me that actually, like, has all the ingredients I need to brew stuff usually, so we got some, like, bottles and, like, you know, brewing stand, blaze rods. This is magma cream I need for all that. And we got our spare netherite tools. So I only have one sword, but I have a copy of each like actual tool. One of them has Silk Touch, well, which I showed Fortune, but this one has Silk Touch. This one has Fortune 3, and it is the same for everything else. So I literally have two netherite hose. Um, and you know they help. And for the axe, I actually put Smite 5 on my axes, so I can just one shot zombie pigmen pretty easy. And then I just keep some like basic valuables. So we got like you know an anvil, we got a couple of furnaces, some extra food, coal, turtle eggs, just some stuff I might need, and also some different potions. But yeah, magma creams for fire resistance. That's why I got a bunch of it. It helps out a lot too. Trust me. Especially if you have to do any tunneling in the Nether, like under like a lava ocean, it helps. But and we got a little like pond area here. I want to make this look a little bit better, not so dirt, but like some of this might have to be stone at some point. But my first focus with this base, because I used to just live in a bunch of caves like all the time. So you know it used to just be a bunch of grays and stone. So I just started focusing on like greenery first, and then I can actually like you know make it look better with other stuff. But yeah, funny beacon beam that goes all the way down to the bottom of the world. We got a cactus farm. Oh, you can even call it a farm properly, but farm is a farm, so I should automate this to some extent, to be honest, but I just haven't gotten around to it. And it don't matter that I take damage, it's fine. Oh, can I actually get up to the... Yo, okay. If I could actually lower some of these better, I could use the jump boost a little bit better. But all this stuff is usable. Like you can get to pretty much any one of these flat bits with just the staircases I put in. so it helps out quite a bit. So it's actually all like usable too. So like I could have like a building dug into here at some point for like extra storage, and I'm thinking about like moving villagers in at some point just to kind of add some more like life and depth to it. Like they'll have their workstations and all that kind of stuff. But because this place is like completely lit up and safe, I can actually afford to do that. And this looks shitty from the back, but once I get a lot more stone, which I actually have haste, I could do that now. Not now, but I can do that in the near future. But sheep farm. I was supposed to use that for cows. I literally never got around to it. Lightning rod, cause lightning rod. Um, it's got a nice view of just nothing. Like how there's two creepers down there though. That's kind of funny. But yeah, this place is safe. Like there ain't nothing that's able to get to me because nothing can spawn. And all the beaches are done in a way where they're all like raised up out of the water, so like nothing can actually get in from like dry land. So it's it's pretty good. And then at parts like this though, where like I didn't want to terraform the whole place, so what ended up happening was I kind of like tried blending it in with the from like this cubic terrain into like back to like natural terrain here. And I don't think you can even really see it anymore, which is just actually good because I did a good job on it, but you can see like very tiny traces of it, but you'd really have to look. But somewhere in this photo, which again about here in the center, there used to be caves, so I had to seal those off, and then like you can kind of see how it actually does end up like blending like pretty nicely into it. And I think it's better from this angle, but and I leave that the way it is. But also unintended side effect of lighting all of this up, a ton of stuff spawns in the swamp now, like a ridiculous amount of stuff, but you can kind of vaguely see how like it blends. I flattened all that out on the top, so it does need to be a little bit better, but um and then this needs to be a little bit better to kind of blend, but it's definitely like not like the worst thing I've ever done, so I mean I'll take it. But in here, because I also have some spare turtle eggs, as you saw in that ender chest, or one of my shulker boxes, I got some spare turtle eggs, so oh dang, good luck out there, homie. But oh wait, go, I gotta harvest these, but oh, and I gotta get more dirt. Yeah, base is pretty solid, so that's a good bit of cocoa beans. I need dirt. I gotta actually finish this today. I need to make sure I get a staircase actually put into this. At least the jump to beacon helps. That's good. Let's see, what do we got? I have a bunch of spare dirt. There we go. That ought to do it. Oh, and I need to go get that wood too, because I need fence gates. I'll have to harvest the sugarcane farm here. But we're almost ready to actually go get that sand and terracotta, so not too much longer on that end. Hopefully. Should be fine. At least I get some natural animals that spawn, so that's good. Go ahead and get that there. I'll just kind of patch this up. Doesn't need to be stellar, just has to work. There we go. Hey, welcome, Charles, and thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm just working on some basic stuff really quick. It's nothing too big. I'm just gonna plant some turtle eggs in here. Oh, there we go. We'll spread the sugar cane out a little bit more. We'll put it here and then I'll flatten this. There we go. Life's pretty solid. I'm just in college right now, so it's actually been pretty great, but otherwise I've just been playing Minecraft quite a bit, so hope this has to get locked up. There we go. Then we'll do something like this. And the grass will spread in eventually. And the last little bit is I need to put some fence gates down. Here we go. I'll just make 8 of them. I got the wood. That's pretty good. As long as it keeps them in, that's all I'm looking for. We'll trim that. And we'll knock this back a couple of blocks and then trim it here. And then... Oh, I don't have my water buckets on me. Dude, I should have put them in here, right? No, I did not. Huh. Oh, guess I'll just make some really quick. There we go, it's a little nicer. Now, all of this should be, oh, except for this part here, this needs to change. That was not supposed to happen. I forgot I had haste, not gonna lie. We'll put that there, because I can get out of here, but the baby turtles can't, so that's all I'm looking for, really. Yeah, I think that's solid. I think I'll just go ahead and put them in place then. Here, we'll have them grow up to be, We'll raise them here, why not? It ought to be pretty safe for them, so. And they can get in and out just fine. That should do it for this for now, so. I'll go ahead and pack up a bunch of this, and all this should be safe and lit up, so. Don't have anything to worry about. And this is Silk Touch, right? Yeah, alright, cool. Not to kill that sheep at some point, but I gotta replant these trees and cut the rest of them down. Yeah, I should try blending these a little bit more. Oh, thank you. I mean, it took a while. Well, this stuff was kind of here naturally, but I did flatten out a bunch of the stuff at the top, but I still got a lot of work here I need to do because it looks a little bit too like bland and kind of monotonous. So I'm working on that part. But I don't really terraform a whole bunch, so all this stuff's kind of new to me. But it's at least like tolerable. This might have to go, but even then, it's not too bad. But yeah, I like terraformed all this. It used to be podzol, now it's grass, and now it's square. Very, very square. But to be fair, it does look pretty cool, not gonna lie. Like I like it personally. But when I get more of this wood and like stone kind of, not stone specifically, but just some more color and some more variation to help break up all the dirt. So it's not doesn't all just blend into itself. Once I get that fixed and figured out, it should be looking like 10 times better. But I'm pretty happy with what I've done so far. I just got a little bit more to go. But it's pretty respectable. But I like it. I gotta work on this podzol again though. Because I do not like that. We got like an iron farm. I was gonna put in some like sheep or something here, but I might make this into a garden instead. But I want this base to be a lot more like open and airy than just kind of like all claustrophobic and kind of like just a cave. So I used to live in a bunch of caves when it came to this game, and Try not to do that anymore. Although it's taken a bit, but it's pretty solid at least. Um, I think it's time though to go get all that terracotta and all that. So we'll go ahead and take 3, 6. Alrighty, here we go. And we'll go ahead and dump these in place. But I'm currently working on a giga base, so I need 50 shulker boxes of red terracotta and another 50 of glass. So yeah, the storage is just it's just kind of like it's fine, but it's all color coded for like the shulker boxes, and then like I sort stuff into the shulker boxes. So like netherrack is red because well red, redstone and all that stuff is red because red, poppies are red. Some more of the brown stuff like the dirt and that kind of stuff, is here, and then the wood is, wood. That's kind of brown. Now the white, like not all of them are like color based like that per se, but they all have like some kind of meaning usually. So like the whites are for like sand and glass and like gravel and flint, like things kind of that nature. And then also for like anything wool related goes into a white shulker box. Pink is for like anything that I like deem like actually valuable, so like gunpowder, miscellaneous like metals and like ores, other miscellaneous like things that I think are valuable, including the pufferfish buckets, food box, anything like greenery related or like dye related too, a bunch of different stone types, anything else from the nether that isn't inherently netherrack or soul sand, including that crying obsidian, anything light related or fuel because also coal's there. Anything end related, anything ocean related, so like prismarine, all that kind of stuff. And then we got our unstackables here, and then this is where I keep all my empty shulker boxes that I just dye light gray, and then terracotta, and then glass, and then this is where I put them all down when I got to sort. But at least organized, so just rare for me. And then all this stuff at the bottom is just more bulk storage, but hey, it keeps me organized, so I'll take it. But we're heading out to the mesa really quickly. Oh, so this is if I make those a little bit taller, that actually might help. And I gotta figure out how to mesh that better in the future. I have to extend that cobblestone down a little bit more. But a lot of this is still work in progress. Like a lot of the terraforming is done, but actually making it not so like bland is not done at all. And it probably won't be done for a while. Because I'm working on a giga base, which is just a very large sphere and a column. And it's like, yeah, I'm making a bigger base. Like it's about 170,000 blocks, which is why I need all the terracotta and glass, because that's what it's just gonna be a 256 diameter sphere, which is big. So I need a lot of stuff, and then once it's built, I have to build a 128 diameter column that goes all the way down to the bottom of the world to support it. And then once those two things are done, I'm filling both of them up basically with like New York, more or less. Not like obviously like a 1 for 1 for New York, but a very like dense and like clustered city. So there's always kind of like something going on, and it should look really cool because it's going to be kind of like a shoebox diorama kind of thing, and I think it could look really interesting. Yeah, it'll be fairly close to this one. Not like super close, but like I have to build this out into an ocean because I'm planning on building like 4 like smaller ones like close to it. So it's about like a 600 block by 600 block footprint. So it has to go in an ocean, and luckily I'm conveniently like 3 feet away from a pretty big ocean, like right out there. So it'll be pretty close to this base, but I don't think it'll quite be in render distance, which is fine. But because this kind of is its own separate thing, and I don't want it to be like too close to where like my frames are always like 3. Yeah, this base right here is where I'm gonna keep everything. The other one's just more kind of like a flex, but yeah, this space is where I pretty much live and like do everything else, and where I keep all my other stuff. So, but once I get the rest of this figured out and I get this completed, and then I get all of these materials gathered, then I'll start working on this sphere and all that and entire city. But I live in this base, and then I'll have a bigger base for funner stuff later. But I mean, again, like a 256 diameter sphere is like genuinely massive. Like that used to be like bottom of the world height, but now it's not even that. But I'm still going to be building a column to connect it all the way to the bottom of the world, and then I'm going to fill the whole thing top to bottom with just stuff, you know, like an entire city's worth of stuff. But for now, I'm just working on getting the shell of it done, with red terracotta and glass, because the top half is going to be made out of glass and the bottom half is going to be made out of red terracotta. Looks like a Pokeball when it like that too, so it's pretty funny, but it just kind of works because the colors blend together pretty nicely with kind of like white and red, and then it works. So, yeah, we're just heading out to the mesa really quickly. Not really quickly, but quick enough. I already got a haste tube beacon set up out there, so it shouldn't take too terribly long. And I got a spare shovel, so I'll just have to get these repaired after all this is done, but won't be too bad. These are all the ice boat paths I've been working on for the past, like... Oh wait, nope, this goes to the end. This one, I gotta label these at some point. This goes to the end. This goes to my raid farm that's like 4,000 blocks away. Also to my iceberg biome where I got all this packed ice. This one goes... You go straight, it takes you all the way to world spawn. This goes to the villager trading hall I have set up, but... Also, all of this is through lava. All of it. Not all of it, but a little bit too much of that for my liking, so... In fact, you can hear it all around me, but... It's pretty nice. It took about, like, 6 to 8 hours to do all of these, and I had to go through, like, a ton of fire resistance potions, but... I really should have built this on the ceiling, to be completely honest, but... Kind of blanked out on that one and just didn't, so... Oops. But it's a smooth ride, like, all the way to world spawn. It's also where that mesa is, so it was really convenient. And yeah, the footage doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. But this is I basically like made a promise to myself that A, I'm not using chunk base for this one, so I haven't even looked at the seed. And B, which is the slightly bigger problem, I spawned in this mesa over here, and it also like a desert, and I didn't know there's actual like land around here, so I ended up going like the wrong direction to get this stuff. Like I went that way instead of this way. So my first world spawn was in the middle of a completely dead mesa and desert with no villages at all and like pretty much no food. I knew I fucking found a coral reef somewhere, man. God, that would have saved me so much time and effort. I went 8,000 blocks out to go find a coral reef, only to remember that I knew I had seen one somewhere else before, and it was right there this whole time. Aw, man. Well, it ain't so bad. I mean, I got an elytra for it, but dude, not cool, man. Not appreciated. Oh, here's the beacon. Alrighty. Luckily, it ain't too far out, but, I think it was this tunnel, and you can see it. Yeah, this was the very first, like, spot I pretty much have ever been at. This is right about where world spawn is. That's when I was, like, pillaring up to actually go get some, like, coal and gold the very first time. There's a cave down there that's like pretty solid in size, but we're not here for that. We're here for the red terracotta, or normal ones too if I run out of red, which should not ever happen. So I will be genuinely amazed if I ever run out of red terracotta. Like that is an achievement in and of itself. But yeah, this is 5 shoulder boxes worth of red terracotta I had mined out at some point. So pretty big, pretty flat, pretty cool. But we'll go ahead and get our first 3 boxes planted down here. Oh, that's right, MBT tags everything. And then we'll just go ahead and fill them up over time. So, phase 2, away we go. This shouldn't take more than, I'd say, probably about half an hour or so for this much, so. It only took like 40 minutes, I think, for the first 5, but we're only doing 3 today. I gotta have some kind of schedule to make sure I get this done relatively quick. Not that I have to have a schedule for it, but it's good to always have some kind of goal to work towards, or at least for me. You know, I will light all this up too, so we don't get any mobs spawning, so I can actually see what I'm doing. Yeah, if I can get that sphere done and I get that whole city built in it with the column too, because the column's actually gonna have like all like the infrastructure for that city, like all the mining and all of the like ore gathering and some farms and all that stuff kind of down there, like kind of like cyberpunk at not like the actual fucking game cyberpunk. That thing is a nightmare, but you know, cyberpunk like designs and shit in terms of like got all your like kind of underground black market shit, and then like kind of like futuristic slums more or less down there near the bottom. And as you start getting near the yes, also another issue. Hello. Oh no, one spider. But as you start getting closer to the sun and towards that glass, it starts getting more kind of like upper middle class, upper class, elite kind of stuff. So yeah, that game was a nightmare. Like Jesus, I mean, it's not exactly the developer's fault because everybody's like, "Where game?" And like, "Okay, here game. I told you it's not finished, but here game." And then they're like, "Why game not finished?" And just you know, it's not easy to make a game like that, to be fair. But either way, like I just want those kind of like themes in terms of you've got your like funny like futuristic slums or whatever near the bottom, but you start working your way up towards the sun because of how like dense and clustered that city is gonna be. Like having like sunlight is like considered more or less like a privilege kind of deal. Or at least that's kind of like my idea for it. So as you start getting closer to the sun, there's a lot more like greenery and like grass and moss and like more like American like middle to upper class suburbs that are like spread out and like aren't like as efficient with space, but they have like yards and stuff and look nice. And then you get near the very top and it's like kind of like penthouse mansion kind of deal. I think it could be very cool, but I mean, I'll have to I'll show the YouTube video at some point on stream, but because I don't know how MC Edit works, I haven't been able to make a proper mock-up of it myself. But I have been able to find like a single YouTube video showing off like a sphere of this size, 256 diameter, and good God, it is going to take a very, very long time to fill stuff with. And then I'm planning on building four other ones that are like half the scale of like a 128 diameter sphere and a 64 diameter column. So, but those ones will come after the very main one is done because I at least would like to finish one thing. But I think it could be really, really cool, and it's such a like monumental project because I also don't like, as far as I'm aware, I think this is like gonna be record setting once I get the other four in place too for like biggest fucking flex ever, which would be a pretty cool title to have. Keyboard, please work, thank you. But I don't think it would be the biggest hardcore base like in single player because there are definitely bigger ones in like multiplayer and whatnot like that. But in terms of just single player, I don't know. I genuinely have not been able to find anything larger. And if you ever do find something larger, like please like genuinely like send me a link or something because I want to know. Also, wow, it is nighttime and they are just dropping out from holes in this. Oh, my gunpowder! Not cool. Unappreciated. Man, I'm always needing a lot of gunpowder, so. But if you can ever find a base that's going to be larger than this, which again is about like, it's going to be about 600 blocks by 600 blocks, like footprint wise, and it's going to go all the way from the bottom of the world to world height. Except for the four smaller ones, they'll probably go to about like Y256 or so, just so that way the big one is like the actual centerpiece, like properly. But that's still like massive. But yeah, I mean, I gotta give myself some kind of like good goal to work towards because realistically, there is no way I will pull this off. But if I do pull this off, then like, oh boy, it's gonna be pretty cool. But once I get the shell of it done, which is again why we need all this terracotta and glass, but once I get the actual like framing of it done, the city building part, I want it to be a little bit more like kind of like community based. So if you ever like have like a suggestion for something to build, it could be anything, could be like actual building, could be pixel art, could be whatever you want, or something you just think that looks cool. Like just feel free to leave a comment. And I mean, I gotta fill the space somehow, so I'll take whatever, honestly. But I think it could be really cool, to see. Well, that might go in one of the smaller ones too, to be fair, because I do want the big one to be like a massive city. But So that one will have to have like a little bit of theming, but like I'll probably have like a dedicated like smaller one for like whatever the hell people want to see put in it. I think that could be pretty cool. But because there's no way I'm gonna be able to fill up the entire thing just by myself, like idea wise. I might be able to, but I don't want it to be like sloppy at some points. Like I kind of want it to have like that same kind of level of quality the whole way through, and that's gonna be a big task in and of itself. Also, I don't know how to build. That also seems to be a slightly larger problem that I'm gonna have to address at some point with this. But I don't know exactly how to build. So that's also my other concern. I mean, I'm just planning on kind of like freehanding it. And I'll be like, oh hey, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty solid. I'll have some kind of rough drafts of like, what I want to do. But I got the hierarchy kind of idea put into place, so I at least kind of know what I should be aiming for, and then I can kind of go from there. When that does happen. Oh, it won't be too bad, but man, it's just gonna take a lot of different materials, but I think it'll all be worth it. Yeah, I got enough of it planned out. I ain't got it planned out to like the finest detail, but like I know like, where the slums should be, where all like the infrastructure mining and farming stuff should be, and where all the rich people are gonna live, that kind of deal. Like there's enough like backstory and background to it that I kind of have a good idea of what I should be doing. But in terms of actually like filling in those gaps, I got no clue. Like what the like what should like the rich people buildings look like, or like how should I be stylizing the slums, like maybe like stylize them more like kind of like New York, like urban hell, kind of like skyscraper deals, maybe something from like Ready Player One where like they're just kind of those like stacks, that could be cool. Or like it's just I got enough of a rough idea, but it's not all there yet, but there's enough of it there, so I kind of have a good direction of where I should be going. But if I could pull it off one day, and it would take a while, but if I could pull it off, I don't know what else I'm gonna do in this world, to be completely honest. But who knows? Maybe it'll amount to something. Maybe it won't. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. It's just some like very big end goal I'd like to give myself, because realistically, I will probably like screw up somehow and like die beforehand, but I'm not building an Enderman farm, so that means I won't ever die, because that's probably the one way I would die, because I'd end up killing myself by accident. But as long as I get that done, I just want something nice to work towards, and it'd be funny to flex. Like the only reason why I'm building this sphere is because, honest to God, why not? Because it's not like anybody's gonna stop me, and also I think it's really cool. Also, I don't think anybody's gonna stop me, so building a giant sphere because I thought it was funny. Because it is. And I'll stuff it with everything else, but I do want to make those 4 like smaller ones at some point. So I think I kind of want it to be like 3 of them are going to be like Minecraft themed. Like we got like a whole like shoebox diorama of like the entire overworld with like pretty much every biome you can think of. Then we'll have another one of like the Nether with pretty much every Nether biome you can think of. That any of the mobs, obviously, because I don't know how much of a pain in the ass it would be to try and catch every fucking mob and shove them into there. And then that means I wouldn't be able to really like show it off properly, because like the Nether one, I'd end up having like a gas that like would just blow up like half of everything, which would be kind of fitting for the Nether, but I just don't want it to escape into the overworld. But and then the last one would be the end, but that one is like debatable because there's pretty much nothing to put. Oh, I think because there is nothing to put in the end, I could just make it like completely like pitch black, then like light it up with like end rods and like make a mock end city, and then have like a bunch of floating islands to get from place to place. So maybe that could work, but and then the 4th one is just gonna be like stuff that people actually want to have like built. So like anything pixel art or cool buildings or just collage of like miscellaneous stuff, I could have it into that 4 smaller one. The big one should just be that massive city I'd like to do, which again, big. And also I have to hollow out a good chunk of the ocean to like have that column go all the way down to bedrock. And then I have to dig out like, I did the math on it too, I have to dig out probably about like 1.6 million blocks of stuff, assuming there's no like caves or anything that would make my life easier. I have to dig out about 1.6 million blocks worth of stuff for that first column to make it from like y60 to y like negative 64 or something like that. So I can't insta mine. I can't insta mine half of it because it's deep slate. And I haven't done anything like glitches in this game. Like I don't even use chunk base because that was kind of the point of this world, was to kind of go back to basics and not do anything like chunk base is fine. Like I do play with chunk base a lot in my own free time, but like I just decided I didn't want to this time, and I would like to stick with it for the whole way if I can help it, and I can. But like on that note specifically, I don't want to do things like carpet bombers or like TNT tubers and all that, which would make my life easier. But like, oh, Chunkbase is a website where like if you have your world seed, you type in your world seed into Chunkbase and all that. All you'd have to do is like slash seed into the chat, well into like in-game chat and all that. But you get your world seed, you put it in the Chunkbase, and it'll tell you where like every structure in the game is and where all the biomes are and all that kind of stuff. So it's really helpful if you're like looking for like a really rare thing. If you're looking for a mushroom biome, you go to Chunkbase, you go ahead and put in your seed, and you just go look for a mushroom biome on there, and then you just go there in game, and then there's a mushroom biome. And you can do that for like a bastion or like an end gateway or like end cities with actual elytras and things like that. So it would make like this game like it makes this game like very easy because you don't have to like really look for the like difficult structures or like the rare structures. You can just know where they are ahead of time and then go to them, so it saves you a lot of time. But I've been doing this one completely blind on like a random seed, so which I was just like, whatever seed I get is the one I'm gonna play on. And well, like I said, the world spawn was shitty because it was in this very mesa where I fucking spawned. I spawned in a mesa with no trees and no food, and I still made it work, which I think is funny and cool. But that's why it took so long to find like an iceberg biome, for example, because I had to actually take a boat, and this was before I had elytra, but I had to take a boat and look for the whole thing by hand. And then I found one after about like 4,000 blocks of ocean travel. And then I had to build the nether portal out and all that for quick transport. So that wasn't hard, it was everything else that was hard. But it is in just kind of like casual stuff, or like, you play the game however you want to play it, but like, I just didn't want to do it this time, but I have done it before in the past. And it's not even a bad thing, like, it helps, man. Like, it would have been nice for the end cities, because I had to like go through so much just to find like one end city, and then that one was lucky and actually had an elytra. But it does help save like a bunch of time for like having to look like 18 billion blocks for like biomes. But at the same time, there is kind of like this nice like charm to just playing Minecraft and just going in blind and to just playing the game. Like there's no like looking at like chunk base for like an hour trying to find like a very specific combination of like a village and like a villager outpost, or like doing all this stuff, or just you just sit down and you play Minecraft and there's something you want to find, you just kind of go out and find it, and there's kind of like a nice like simple charm to that. But yeah, I figured I'd change things up this time around compared to how I used to normally play it, and just go for it a little bit more old school, and it's worked out great. I found everything I've been looking for, like with Mesa and like iceberg biome and all that kind of stuff, so it's definitely doable. It's just more time consuming, and it's not that much more rewarding per se, but like it is kind of nice to flex. But that's just it. It's just a flex, and it's not even a good one at that. But again, there's a nice simplicity to just kind of taking it easy and not having to just be on a wiki page for 30 billion hours. Like whenever I play Stardew Valley, I'm in a wiki page for an hour straight, but I think every player's in a wiki page for about 4 hours, so it balances out. But yeah, it's nice to just kind of take it easy and just play the game kind of very simply. We're actually kind of close on day 300. We're at 292 right now. We're going to be sleeping to 293 here in a second, so I get the rest of this. But then again, here I am talking about how I want to play this game simply, and I'm just going to build a giant sphere that pretty much goes to world height because I thought it was funny. It is still funny, but man, it just... I could have chosen something easier, and that's kind of what my actual, like, base, like where I'm living now, that's what that's for, is for me to, like, have something easier to practice, like, it's kind of like practice grounds, you know? Like, I can practice, like, getting really good at building and trying out, like, different funky, like, types of building and like, actual structures and, like, you know, learning what terraforming actually is and that kind of deal. But, kind of once I figured it out at my base, that's when I can apply it to the sphere and, like, really make something special. But, I was always gonna play in this world regardless. I just figured, like, you know, since I've kind of always wanted to stream on Twitch a little bit before, so I figured, like, hey, well, I'm gonna be playing this thing a lot anyway, so I might as well stream it, right? Because I didn't really plan on, like, I never thought anybody was ever gonna watch this stuff, so I was like, oh, I'm just outside of the haste beacon. Oh, shoot. Oh, I guess we'll mine this quick little chunk and then, hang on, let me see if I can pop back in the radius of it. There we go. The maxed out beacon too, so the range should be all there. But I honestly never thought like somebody was ever gonna watch this stuff, so it always means a lot to me to see people here. But like, you know, it's just I always figured I was just gonna do this world no matter what, so I just decided to stream it just because. And I'm archiving a lot of this too, just so that way I can always have it to look back on or like make like a cool like time lapse video or something, you know, way in the future after I inevitably die. But all that stuff's privated for right now on YouTube, but it won't be at some point. I just have some stuff I need to figure out for that. But I mean, it's pretty cool. Like I just, I just play Minecraft. I just take it easy. I play Minecraft. I do what I want to do, and then that's pretty much it. So yeah, it works out. It's fun streaming on Twitch, you know. But oh, my YouTube's the same as my Twitch name, just Jacob86. So it's nothing special. Nothing's on there right now or anything. I think I have it linked too, but I'll have to double check on that one. But yeah, nothing's really posted on there yet because all I'm posting for now when it does actually go public are just like the archives of all these streams, so that way, you know, they're always there if people want them. Fortunately, I didn't get the first 6 parts because I kind of like forgot that Twitch deletes them after like 2 weeks, so I've got like part 7 onwards, which is when I just started working on like villager stuff for the first time. I was like still in iron armor, but I did unfortunately miss the one where I went to the nether for the first time and almost got disintegrated by some wither skeletons. They hit me twice in full iron, dropped me down to like 1.5 hearts, and I was fully ready to die. And then I got very lucky and the wither effect wore off and I was able to eat, so... And then I killed him, but... I died to him because got too greedy trying to get to a blaze spawner. And then it was a cakewalk from there. Because once you get a hold of a blaze spawner in a hardcore world, when you have some like nice stable XP like that in general, dude, like oh my lord, it makes things so much easier. Because you can just grind for a while to get some really good enchantments on your armor, and then the game's over. Oh, it might be. It's either like too small to really actually show up, or it might be privated too to some extent. So I'll have to fix that at some point a little later, but don't worry about it too much for right now. I'm just like I said, there's nothing really that's gonna be on there other than just a bunch of archive stuff. So it's cool to always go back and watch, but it's certainly not very interesting. But I'll have to figure out how to get this at the public. It just takes me a while because I'm a little bit slow with this stuff. I do get it done, it just takes a bit. Oh, I appreciate it though, but I'll have to figure out how that stuff works, man, because I know there's a way on Twitch to like link to your YouTube channel, but I have to figure out how to do that if I haven't. You'll have to give me some time. It should probably be ready in the next couple of days or something, but it's really no big deal, but I really do appreciate it though. Alright, we're almost full up on terracotta again. I might have to move the beacon at some point too. That's a little curse to see an enderman. Alright, I'm thinking I might upload other stuff on there one day, but I kind of just more use that to just like, you know, save like playlists of like videos I want to watch in the future or whatever. You know, just generic like music playlists. So I never really done anything with it, but I'll start uploading stuff eventually. In fact, I already have. Technically, it's just all private is all. But yeah, until I get all that stuff done, I mean, I'm streaming here on Twitch just about like every day, more or less. Not like every day, but you know, usually I'm here. Not this late normally. I think it's about I'm in the Eastern time right now. It's like 1:39 over here, and normally I don't stream this late. Like I stream at about like 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern, something like that, because then that's when I'm done with class for the day. But okay. Yeah, Eastern time is funny. I live in Florida, which is less funny because oh boy, Florida is hot. Even though it's only spring, it's still very hot, and I just don't like it right now. So, but I've lived here all my life, so I'm used to the heat. But I'm like kind of tired of it. So I'm gonna try moving at some point when I get my finance degree. I'm gonna be a businessman. Woo, yay! Not really a businessman per se, but just finance degree is gonna hopefully carry me to like a ton of money. So who knows? Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I just gotta have something to go for. I'm just doing this for fun right now. There's no way I'd ever be able to do this for a job. Not that I'd even think I'd really want to be honest, because, you know, I just, like I said, I just do this world, for example, just for fun, because I felt like doing it, so. Which is why this kind of schedule is so erratic. It's just, generally it's about once per day at around the same time, but it's not particularly set in stone, so. It usually is consistent enough to where you can kind of guess. But unfortunately now, though, it's kind of a little bit more, like, basically chores until I actually get this, mega base done. Because, you know, I need so much glass and terracotta, it's just chores until I get it done. Which, we actually might be done with the, terracotta bit for today, so we'll go ahead and put this away, and we'll see how much more I actually need. And then if we're already full up on these 3, we'll go ahead and, go get the glass. I think that did it. Yep, that did. Alright, cool. So we'll go ahead and get 3 shulker boxes of sand, and then we'll head back and go get the sand smelting, and then we should be good for today. Although I have to figure out what I want to do with my actual base for now, because I do want to use colored terracotta or like something to help break up the kind of the monotony of all that dirt, but it's kind of a little difficult right now to decide what I should really do with it. Because on the one hand, I would like to kind of like break it up with like actual like colors, but I feel like that takes away from more of it being like a kind of like a mountain kind of like structure where it's like, you know, it's just a mountain, but it's just cubic, like that's all the thing should be. But on the other hand, you know, colors do look like pretty cool, especially if there's going to be that many of them. I think it could look pretty interesting and like diverse, but I was still on the fence about it. We'll go ahead and take these. Should be out this direction. And yeah, we should be good to head back. I mean, we got a massive desert, so I don't actually have to worry about running out of sand or nothing. But yeah, it's pretty good. There's another portal. There's world spawn, and here should be the desert. Yeah, this is the desert I've been using to mine all my sand. Since I don't actually have to have a beacon, I can just come here and mine. And it's pretty nice. So we'll go ahead and get some of these put down. There we go. We'll fill up these 3 with sand, and then we'll be out of here for today. But yeah, I'm still on the fence what I should be doing with my main base. But once I get that figured out and make that look good, then I'll probably be starting on the Giga base. That's gonna take a while. I gotta have some kind of schedule with that because mining it hasn't been too bad, but placing blocks down, you're limited on how fast you can place stuff down a lot more. So it's a lot harder to do. Not that it's harder, but like I also have to have there's like a third-party program somebody made a long time ago called like plots, and basically you can just like make like a sphere of like a certain size on there, and it gives you like step by step like, you know, what each layer has to have for blocks, all that kind of stuff. So like in one tab I have to have that open and then build it exactly like that, and then I just had to do that 256 times because I am still making a sphere. And then the first 128 have to be red terracotta, and the other have to be glass. And then I have to empty out like a large portion of the ocean, so that way I can actually dig and then like make that column. So I have to get more red terracotta eventually, and it's just a lot of work. But like I said, I think it'll be worth it at some point, but that might take a while. I really should capture some of these rabbits for our bundles. They're not in the game now, but they eventually will be, and I know they're kind of a pain. Oh, and I've got my spare netherite shovel too. I should probably use it at some point. Because I might run out of durability on this one if I overuse it, so I'll go ahead and pick that one up too, just to be safe, and I'll dump some stuff away. But yeah, if you ever get a chance to, honestly, try and play like a hardcore world for yourself too, because like they're not that difficult to be honest. Like as long as you don't do anything like remarkably like bad or dumb, then like you don't really have anything to fear. Is 99% of the deaths are from like dumb stuff. Ah, fair enough. But I mean, yeah, I mean like they're fun honestly. Like I don't like I like having this one. I actually have a second one that I still play on because I haven't died in it yet, but well, I say I still play on, but I only mean that I haven't died in it yet. I haven't touched it in a couple months. I think I booted it up by accident one time, like on stream, and I was like, oh shit, that wasn't supposed to be there, but it's not as impressive as this one. Oh, nice, 2300, dang. Gotta have a lot of, well, you don't ever have to have a lot of stuff done, but that's still really impressive though, like seriously. I'm only at like, what is it, like 294 right now, so I'm hoping I can get this very big base completely done by like, I don't know, like day 1000 or something, should be pretty reasonable. Because I've gotten like everything else done farm-wise except for like a couple of weird things like a gold farm and like an actual shulker shell farm and some of those other things, but otherwise I'm, pretty happy with this world. I think I only got about 300 something days in that other world too. I'll have to double check that, but oh, sand's already done. Let's go ahead and put some of this away. I will toss the gunpowder. It's only 2, I can afford to kind of not have it. Yeah, make an ominously flat desert, because why not? That could be fun. But, I mean, this world's been going along pretty great for me, because I finally found, like, a good mix of, like, I used to, like, try and just say, like, fuck it, and just make, like, the best version of, like, any farm. Not the best, but, like, at least a pretty, like, good version of, like, any given farm. So, like, making a really good witch farm, or, like, raid farm, or an iron farm. But then I've just gone ahead and kind of found that good balance of, like the shulker farm is intentionally, like, shitty because I don't ever have to go to it too much. And, like, once I'm done getting shulker boxes, I'll never use it again. And then, like, I've made, like, better choices about which one should actually have, like, a lot more time and effort put into them versus which one shouldn't. And then since this is my second time doing this, I'm just a lot better than I was before. I was still good before, but now that I actually have, like, the, when I had the villager discounts and all that with the zombie villager and all that, that made things a lot easier, so I was kind of held back in that world because I didn't have a lot of emeralds, but, now I got plenty, because good raid farm, and also before that I had a zombie villager and I cured all the villagers and all that, so with the cartographer trades and all that good stuff, that helped out a lot. But yeah, hardcore ain't really, like, too bad, honestly. I mean, yeah, like the whole, like, if you die once, it's just over kind of deal is kind of, like, scary, but, you know, I've got a raid farm. I don't really have to worry about dying anymore. If I do die, I have a totem, and if I die again, I'll just use another totem. Yeah, I do got something going pretty well here, honestly. Like, again, I got that other one too. I'll probably show it off after I get this sand all, like, smelted and put away, but, I mean, I got quite a good bit of stuff here, so it took a little bit, but kind of once you get, like my philosophy with it is, like, I kind of don't take it too seriously. Like, if I die, I die. But once I get a blaze spawner, like an actual, like, blaze farm set up with, like, lava and like get him to like get pushed in so you can kill him easy on that stuff. Once that's set up, the game actually really starts for me, because if you have a good source of XP like that, game's just that much easier. Because I'm really good with villagers. Like I've been dealing with them since like 2016. I think even before the Village and Pillage update, but only a little bit before that. But I've been having to do trading halls so much between like 114 and now that like I got really good with them. I don't have a gold farm yet though. I will eventually like build one, but like I don't really have a need to have one right now because you just use gold on like what? Golden carrots, like glistening melon, which I can get those both easy. Golden apples, powered rails, and like I think that's it, right? Like there's not really too much more than like golden apples and powered rails unironically. So that's why I really haven't made one. And I'm saving that too in case I want to break from building the Giga base because that thing is too big to do like comfortably. So I had to save it for. Oh, true. There is. Yeah, it is good for an XP farm, but yeah, if I ever did want to build a bartering farm, I will need that. You do actually get quite a bit of stuff from bartering farms, like like quartz and all that kind of stuff, and obsidian. So, but I just don't have a. I don't exactly have a big need for that right now, so I haven't really thought about it. But I'll save those for if I ever want to like do something different that day instead of like placing down like 20,000 blocks or something. I'll just like go build a gold farm instead and like get all the materials and build it, and then I'll have a bartering farm next to it. But I'm just saving those as a change of pace because I seriously cannot just sit there and build like a sphere for like 30 hours straight over the course of like 2 weeks. Like no. Is I don't even think I can even handle that mentally. I'm like a lot more patient than I used to be, but like I do not think I have the patience to just sit there and do that only for like that long. But in fact, I've got so much patience. Well, not so much, but I got enough patience. I've beaten getting over it like 60 something times. So clearly, I'm doing something right for it to be that good. But I was gonna do something where like if I hit like 50 followers on Twitch, I was just gonna play like Getting Over it and be like, oh hey guys, it's Getting Over. It's like the funny rage game, and then it's just I beat it in like 10 minutes again or something, because it's really not that hard. But well, it's not that hard after you played it for too long, and I did play it for too long. I even got the funny like golden pot for the Steam achievement and all that, and that's like beating the game 50 times. So I think my personal best there is like 5 minutes 8 seconds, so like genuinely like fairly respectable. Nowhere near world record setting or nothing, but like respectable. So considering I play the game fairly casually. Oh, sometimes I just play it just because I'm bored and I want something else to do, and I don't feel like streaming that day, so I don't play Minecraft. But I pretty much only really play Minecraft now if I want to like stream it. Well, it's the other way around. If I want to play Minecraft, then I stream it, and I want to play Minecraft quite a lot usually. So, you know, but I don't really do a lot of mini game stuff anymore. Like, I used to play on Windcraft quite a bit, but I just kind of fell out of that because it got really grindy at some point, and I was just like, nope, we're good. Yeah, I mean, I like just sitting back and just like playing the game. Like, I haven't done anything too crazy in either of these worlds yet, but hopefully with this, that should change pretty soon. Within like I don't know, like a month and a half or 2 months or something. But even then, that's still quite a bit of time. So, but luckily we're about halfway there on the sand, so it shouldn't be too much longer. Still have quite a bit of time, but and also since I'm in college too, I can actually afford to play this game a lot more because I still do all my homework and I study properly, but like I have a lot more free time than I used to, so I gotta find a good way to spend it, and why not? Why not do this, And like I got a whole bunch else I want to do right now. 'Cause I don't exactly have money or a job, so I kind of don't really have anything else to do. Although I am learning how to cook and like bake kind of as a good hobby. It's something nice to pick up and it's fun. And if you're really good at it, you make some really good food and it's just that much better for yourself. It's pretty nice. Oh, well, the fun fact about college, well, there's not really homework in college. Like, there kind of is, but the only homework I get is for, like, my math class. And I got, like, an 80 in there, but that's because, like, I got a 70 on his second exam, but I got an 80, like, on his first exam. And the problem is these exams count for a quarter of my grade each, so half my grade came from 2 parts of, that. But I'm still passing pretty well, so I'm not too worried about it, but there's college classes don't really assign a lot of homework because, like, the people who usually go to them don't have a job, or they do have a job, excuse me. I don't have a job, so it's a lot easier for me to, like, do stuff like this because they expect you to have a job, which is why they're a little bit more lenient with, like, homework and things like that. And also the homework they do give is more just, like, it's pretty much as long as you watch the videos that explain literally how to do it, which they provide themselves. Like, they teach you because I'm in an accounting class right now, and, like, she makes very high quality and, like, easy to understand videos about, like, how to do these things, and you see those things on the exam, and that's also your homework. It literally teaches you how to do your homework too. So as long as you just sit down and watch the video, and, like, you actually, like, just try to, and you don't have to try it too hard. You just have to sit down and watch it, but, as long as you at least try on the homework, you will probably get, like, 100 on it, like, no sweat. And it don't like, I'll just, like, what I'll do is I'll take, like, 1 or 2 days per week to just, like, turn on some music and just go get it done, because it's not hard, it's just, like, busy work for the most part. Which ain't bad because it does actually teach you stuff, but because it's so simple, I don't have to really, like, try as hard. But, yeah, like, all I do is, like, I don't have exams too often, so when those do happen, I'll, like, take, like, 2 days to, like, beforehand or so to, like, study for them, and I only, like, study for, like, a couple hours. Oh, it is way better than high school, my mans. Like, I got a good bit of trouble in high school, so actually this is, like, they don't count it as my 4th year of college, but I took 2 years of full-time dual enrollment when I was in high school and starting in 11th grade, because I kinda sorta got into a little bit of trouble, and, like, they basically kicked me out of high school, but because we could have sued them if they did that, because, like, they screwed up some stuff with my IEP, which is illegal, and then they tried to, like, hide it too, which is double illegal. But, I was allowed to do full-time dual enrollment in exchange for not having to, go to high school again, which, spoiler alert, great trade-off, best decision of my life, straight up, to get in trouble for that, because, wow, oh my god, I got 50 credits of college work done in those 2 years of high school, still got to graduate on pace and everything, and I got 50 free college credits, and I'm gonna be out of this college that I'm at, like, 21 with a master's degree, when I'm, like, 21 years old, so, like, I'm, like, and I got a full ride scholarship, because Florida offers this thing where, like, if you get, like, a 29 or higher on the ACT or, like, a 1330 or higher on the SAT, you get 100 hours of volunteer service, and then you got, like, a good GPA. They give you, like, 100% tuition, scholarship for 4 years. So, like, because I already had that head start too, I've been able to goof off in college a little bit more than normal because I don't have to be, like, as serious and, like, really speed run my classes. I already got a 2-year head start, so I mean, like, and dude, college is like, there's a trade off with it though. High school is, like, better if you're, like, if you need somebody kind of there to tell you what to do. High school is better in that regard because, like, if you need somebody to, like, actually remind you to do stuff, then you're gonna have to stay in high school for a bit. But if you're good at, like, being, like, disciplined and, like, good for yourself, like, actually making sure you yourself are going to class and you yourself are going to do your homework, because no one's gonna tell you to do that. Like, if you're gonna fail, you're gonna fail, and that one's completely on you. But if you're good at staying disciplined for this stuff, like, college is easier as long as you don't let the pressure of exams get to you. Because they do count for a bit, but, like, they don't give a whole bunch of homework, and when they do give homework, it's very manageable. It's very reasonable. Yeah, well, they weren't really free credits because I still had to do all these, like, I still had to do classwork for them and all that, but yeah, this is, like, my 4th year of college. I'm still holding a, 3.2, like, I think I'm holding a 3.25 cumulative GPA. So that's my GPA from the college I'm at now and when I was at community college. So, like, to hold a GPA like that for 4 years is, like, pretty respectable. And then my GPA here at this college is a 3.4. So yeah, while I do play video games a lot, like, like what you see me play on stream is like a tiny fraction because I play Stardew Valley a lot off stream and I play Splatoon 2 a lot off stream. And I'm also on YouTube, just watching stuff on YouTube a lot off stream. So I do a lot more like goofing around than I do like actually like studying and all that, but at the end of the day, I still do study and I still do go out of my way to make sure I know what I'm doing because I actually need this stuff for my job because I'm getting my finance master's in a couple of years. I'm getting my bachelor's at the end of 2023 if I keep up the good pace and like no, and then at the end of 2024 I should have enough credits for my master's, but if you're good at being an adult for yourself in college, it is infinitely easier and better than high school, but you have to have a way to pay for it. And it is important to have a college degree because you can go to trade school if you'd like, but like you gotta have some kind of higher education because they're kind of done hiring like people without degrees nowadays. If you're lucky, you can, but like that's usually like if you start your own business and that kind of stuff, and you still need like pretty good education to do that kind of stuff. But like it's a lot better than a high school because there ain't nobody there to bully you or to be like a total dick. Because if somebody does that, you just report them to the dean or to the professor, and they usually like haul them out in front of the class, and then they're gone because they suck. Or it's just like if they didn't want to go to school to learn, then they literally don't have to go to college because you have to go to high school. You ain't got to go to college if you don't want to. So I mean, nobody's holding a gun to your head and saying you have to go to college or else like it just will be harder for yourself if you don't. But as long as you're good at being, like, responsible, I don't mean like, "Oh, yes, I'm very serious all because look at me, I'm playing Minecraft right now, like, what I eat I fucking bake muffins to eat for a snack because I make them a lot too, like double chocolate muffins because 'cause they're good, but I'm still a responsible adult first, and then I'm, like, doing literally whatever else I want second. But at the end of the day, I still make sure I get my actual stuff done, and then I can just do whatever. But college homework ain't really hard. It's the tests that aren't hard. The tests aren't hard either because they do actually give you like pretty in-depth like study guides. Well, some of them, but most professors do give good study guides and like actually like give you like reasonable expectation of what's gonna be on the exam. So as long as you make sure to like actually put in the work a little bit, and it's not like you gotta like really sweat to get like a B or an A, but like you just have to put in some effort. Like you put in like a decent chunk of effort, you can pretty comfortably get a B, but if you do a little bit extra, you'll get an A pretty easy too. So like, as long as you just sit down and like try with college, man, like you will pass and it'll be fine. So you don't have a whole bunch to worry about, but it is so much better than high school. Like I don't have to worry about people bullying me or just being just creeps or jackasses, and like the whole like puberty thing's pretty much done too, so nobody's like quite as awkward anymore. Although it is gonna be very ominous though, because I'm only 18 right now. Like I'm turning 19 in June and all that, but I'm in like my pre-major right now. So once I'm done with like 3 more specific classes during the summer, then I get to do the actual like major, which is only like like 40 credits or something like that. So it's pretty quick. Like I'll have it done by the end of 2023. That's how quick it is. And then that means I'll get my bachelor's. But I'm gonna be like 19 years old in a class where I should probably be like I don't know like 20 or 21 or something reasonably. Because that's supposed to be something you do in like your like third or fourth year of college is when you're starting that kind of stuff, and that is when I'm starting my stuff. But because I got such a head start in high school, man, it's like, ooh, that full-time dual enrollment made things so much easier for me. Oh, half of it is being smart, but real like spoiler alert, you have to be smart for some of this stuff, but like half of it boils down to dumb luck, getting like handed the right thing at the right time. Like if they had followed my IEP, I would have just been expelled and like would have just been out of high school, and then that means if I was out of high school, then I would have been out of dual enrollment too. Because to do dual enrollment, you have to be registered to a high school in your county. Um, so I would have been out of dual enrollment, would not have been able to do that. And if I didn't actually like, get into the spot of trouble that I did get in, I would have never gotten a chance to do that in the first place. Like, they would have never offered me to do full time because you can do part time dual enrollment as a high schooler, but full time I think is like a lot like harder to get into. Oh, but that was pretty much their only option for me because we could have sued them for like a lot of money and probably like reasonably won. Or it was like I get like a bunch of free college, like 2 years of free college, that I ended up actually being able to use here and everything. So I got all my old like boring classes, like like some basic math and algebra and all those like GEP classes out of the way. So half of it's skill, but most of it's luck, to be perfectly honest. And that's just how it is for everything in life nowadays. You can be really good at something, but if you're not like if you're literally not like born lucky, like in like a better off family or something, then like you have the biggest handicap known to man. It's called being poor. Like you can't really fix that from like the ground up unless you get some like really fucking like weird stuff happening. Like, and the only way I can see that happening for myself without like doing a little trolling and like I don't know, like selling drugs or something, kind of like Breaking Bad or some stupid ass shit like that, is like something to do with the stock market. I don't know what specifically yet, but I know that's pretty much the last way I'm gonna be making a lot of money. To like, cause I'm not waiting until I'm 65 to retire. I just out of raw fucking spite, I will not do that. So I'm getting my finance degree first, so I can actually get a job to get some money to save. And once I get enough money to like actually open a day trading account, I'm gonna learn how to day trade, but I'm gonna be doing it while I'm still at college, so I get a college level education on how trading fucking works. And then I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna, be good enough. Like, yeah, like crypto's fine and all, but I'm not doing some like dumb shit like crypto. Like, I think that crypto's inherently dumb, but like there's better options to like probably consistently like make money. Like there's definitely a lot of like behind the scenes shit, but also like learning how like calls and puts work like really effectively. Like if I can learn how like that kind of stuff works and I know how to like really master it, and then I get good at using like the fucking like analyzers that they have and all that stuff, like once you make like a certain amount of money with your life, like I'd say probably about like 10 million, and you put it into something that's really stable and that's like always going to generate returns, then like a 2% return like from your investment, right? Like 2% ain't a lot, like objectively compared to the initial amount, but like 2% of 10 million is still $200,000, and if you got that every year, like I'm living off of like I don't know like 20 grand a year between like rent and like food. So like living off of 200 grand a year would be, and I'm like I live a pretty like modest and humble life, honestly. Like I don't really spend a whole bunch of money. I don't eat out a whole bunch. Like I do sometimes, just not all the time. But I still enjoy nice things, and I'm still like content, and I'm happy with my life. Like I don't need like much more to be happy, but having a lot more money certainly would help though, because 'cause then I could actually live in a house. But nope. Well, actually, I actually was dating not too long ago, but we kind of broke up because I honestly wasn't ready. It turns out because wow, being 18 years old and dating is probably not a wise idea, to be perfectly honest. Also, it was long distance, which didn't exactly help out with things either. But I just kind of I just kind of got not really burnt out, but I mean, I had a lot of stuff going on, and I still have too much stuff going on. So maybe when I'm out of college with my degree, I'll probably start trying to date again. But I don't really go out of my way for that stuff. It just kind of happened because we were just, like, wow, if you're good friends with somebody first, and then maybe feelings start to develop, and then like, like, wow, that's crazy. Whoa, like what? Like, wow, you shouldn't just be like going out of your way to look for somebody to date, like picking somebody out of the crowd. It's usually just like, be good friends with somebody first, and like, actually be like kind and respectful towards them, and then like, if something happens, something happens. But if not, well, hey, you got a great friend to be with still. So, hey, Piglin, you would have been very useful earlier. Get the hell out of here. It took too long to find one of these with a sword for that wither skeleton farm I made a long time ago. But dating's fine and all, but you also have to make sure you're comfortable with like being by yourself too to some extent, because like it does cost money to actually go out and do stuff with people like all the time, and it's expensive. But internet makes that a lot cheaper nowadays though. But either way, dating's like fine and all, but it's not something you should really just try and like jump into if you really aren't ready. Because I wasn't ready, and it's not like it was like a lot of responsibility, but like it just was a little bit more stressful than I thought I could handle, and I just couldn't handle it at the time. So unfortunately, I had to break up. But that one was kind of a me issue, honestly. But it's all right. Maybe I'll get another chance someday. But I got other stuff I have to worry about right now, unfortunately. So kind of once my life is settled a little bit more, when I'm like 20 something, like I'm actually I'm like I'm applying for like a really good internship right now, and it seems like it's at least fairly promising. Because they haven't just straight up told me no. Like I meet all the requirements and all that kind of stuff, and like I've been emailing them back, all that kind of good stuff. So like they haven't exactly said anything that makes me think I wouldn't get it, but if they don't outright say, "Would you like the job?" then of course you haven't actually gotten it yet. But it at least looks promising. Like I got the grades for it, I got the resume for it, and I meet the requirements, so there's a reasonable chance I should get it. But that kind of stuff's not a guarantee. But dating is nice, but I'm just gonna wait till I'm a little bit older because it's just some internship for. I don't really want to say the company name, but it's they're a very like highly like rated company. They're like a Department of Defense contractor, a very big one at that. So actually, that might have just given it away. Oops. But either way, they pay like quite a hefty amount for their internships, and I'm kind of broke. So and I also need work experience anyways. So I'm trying to get my CPA, which is like to be a certified public accountant and all that. So if I get this internship, I can work towards my CPA and then get it done. And then I just get like that much more like job opportunities by having that degree. But fair enough. Imagine spelling. Yeah, I mean I have a rough time sometimes to be fair, but no, I got what you said. But it's still just good to be careful about that stuff to be fair with it being the internet and all. Not nothing against you personally, obviously, but like, still the internet, so anybody could be watching, including my potential employer, which that would be very cursed, and I would not appreciate that at all. Which is why I never ever disclose that I have any social media presence either, and you never should either. If you ever apply for a job and they ask you to like put that down, do not put it down. Like in all seriousness, do not, because they are not going to be able to find it unless you tell them. So do not ever willingly put it down, because that is quite possibly the last thing you will ever do. All it takes is them to see something like one thing they don't like, and it just is like, well, we actually gotta hire this guy? Like it's just a very bad idea, so don't do it. But yeah, I just always have to be a little careful about that too, because things are always like kind of weird on the internet sometimes. So better to be safe than sorry when it comes to that stuff. But yeah, either way, if I get this job, supposedly they're paying like $20 to $25 an hour for finance interns, which is what I'm applying to be. And I got the grades for it. I got enough like experience for it right now in terms of like actually doing good in my classes, and like it's an internship for God's sake, so it's not like I can like they don't expect you to do the full work because it's an internship for a reason. But it's something I can handle. But if I and it's fully remote right now too, which is perfect because I don't own a car on account of being poor. I got my full license and everything a long time ago, so I can drive by myself if I wanted to. But you know, I would be very stupid to try that because I have not driven a car in, I think, like, God, it has to have been like a year and a half or 2 years by now. Regardless of how long it's been too long. And that's kind of a big deal because, that is just absolutely reckless to try and like drive a car, without like actually really like, 'cause I passed my driving test just fine and everything, but because I'm still like, a new driver, can't be irresponsible with that stuff because you're driving a fucking like 2-ton metal machine. I'm not trying to like kill somebody by accident. So hey, lava is lava. That's pretty cool. But I mean, if I can get this job, man, it's like I think it's supposed to be about like 20 something thousand a year, making like 20 an hour, like 15 15 to 25 hours a week. So it's a pretty respectable amount of money, especially because I don't have a lot of bills to pay right now. So like I can actually afford to put a lot of it away to save it, and then when I save up enough money, I can like invest. And because I don't have to spend so much on rent or on food, I can kind of start focusing on like good like quality of life stuff, like like I could actually maybe upgrade my computer at some point, or make sure I save some more money to get ready to invest. But there's enough I can do. Oh, well, I live on campus, and these campuses are big. Like, it's pretty much its own entire, like, city because it's just that big. I did have water buckets. I'm just a clown. Oh man, but I probably live about I'd say like half a mile or so away from my classes, so I'm actually like pretty well within walking distance. But the other hard part though is groceries, because I don't go out too much in Orlando, but like I do have to go out to go get groceries. And not that it's hard to do, but they do have a grocery shuttle to do it. But the problem is it's only on Tuesdays, so it's always packed when you go to the grocery store. And I just like I don't know. I haven't taken a bus yet, and I really should. I should not have gone. But I haven't exactly been on a bus in a very long time. The last time I did not have a pleasant memory of it because it just kind of sucked. But all right, that one shouldn't have gone in there either. But if I ever wanted to, I could take the shuttle. But the thing is, I live like a about a half mile away from the grocery store too, because again, it's all like really close to the campus. So I can actually like reasonably walk there, buy my food, and then what I do is I put it in like I put a lot of it into a hiking backpack that I bought off of Amazon for like 30 bucks. And then I got some like I got some insulated like reusable bags that I use for like the rest of them. So like some of the heavier food, like I get a lot of soda. So that one either goes in the backpack or it goes in the large like bag, so I can put it over my shoulder. And then I still get like actual food too. Like I'm cooking a lot more chicken and like noodles and like actual cheap food, but I'm like still cooking though. That's the thing. So I'm still being like a responsible adult. Like I still eat a lot of junk food. Like don't get me wrong on that. Like I still eat like a ton of muffins and like cookies because I like baking too. But like I still eat like a healthy like balanced meal. Like at the end of the day, like I still eat very healthy first. We should be getting an influx. There we go. But I mean, like college, the stuff they don't really tell you about when you're getting ready to go into college from high school is like what it actually means to be an adult, and like that stuff you kind of have to figure it out. And yeah, this stream is pretty chill. Like I don't do a whole bunch here, because right now I'm just like gathering a bunch of materials and all that. But yeah, like they don't ever really tell you in college about what it really is to like be an adult, and it's like actually having to get up out of bed to go to class, and like making sure you get your groceries, and like being responsible with your money and that kind of stuff. Like they don't ever really talk about that too much, and they should, because it's important to know and at least be aware of. But it ain't really the end of the world. Like you just get good at learning how to cook. You don't eat a whole bunch of freezer food. Like I still eat a good bit of freezer food, but I still know how to cook too. But oh, dude, like they did that at my high school too. But I think that's more just trying to like if you can get really good at high school, then you will do really good in college. Well, to some extent, it's a little they're different enough, but they're similar enough. But like the college classes I go to, like they're like, hey, look, here's what we're gonna be learning today, and then here's the group assignment. Go do the group assignment. I'll see you in 2 weeks, and that's all it is. So like, it's not hard. Like classes aren't really hard per se, but when you go to college, there is that kind of level of expectation where like, you be responsible, you be respectful, and you be responsible to your peers because you guys are all adults, so you're kind of past that age of like being a total dick, in college or not college, in high school rather. And the work, like, as long as you can handle being an adult and like are actually good at studying, not necessarily being good at like doing work by default, but as long as you're good at studying, again, let me emphasize that at studying, you will do fine in college, like completely. Because all the stuff that you study will be on your exams usually, and they'll let you know what is on the exams, and some of them even give you like sample questions, so like you can kind of get a feel for like how the exam questions are gonna look and what they're kind of gonna ask. And some of them even give freebies on like the study guides too. So then if you took the study guide, then you should get like a couple like really easy questions on the exam that are just like straight from the study guide. So they're like free points as long as you look over them. But college is tougher in some aspects. Like being a responsible adult is usually the hardest one. I have no issue with that because I pretty much have been an adult for like 4 years or something. But even though I'm only 18 now, I've had to do quite a lot that a lot of kids really shouldn't have to do. But But I mean, I can handle that just fine. I've always been good enough at studying and like being I have enough self discipline to actually get up out of bed. Also, it helps too that I like you have to be honest with yourself because you think you're gonna like actually get up at like 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. because oh that's pretty like late. I can go do that class. And no, you can't. Don't lie to yourself. You can try it for the first semester, but I promise you, go take your classes later in the afternoon because that means you get to sleep in a good bit more. And then you can actually comfortably get up without an alarm and then like just go to class and then you're good. But I only have one 9 a.m. class right now because I have to, because, there's no other choice for it. But I know well in advance when it is, so then, I can actually prep for it a little bit better. And then I take it for like 2 hours and then I go back to bed. And then I go take my second class like at like 4 in the afternoon or something. But college ain't hard as long as you're responsible, like, and you're self-dependent, you're independent. As long as you're independent, you don't have to have somebody keep like reminding you when your homework's due or that you have to do better so you actually get a grade to pass. As long as you're independent, man, like college is infinitely easier than high school in most aspects, but it is more stressful with the exams because the one thing high school had going for it, not everything wrote on like a single exam. It was and it's better in some classes than others, but like you take my math class for example, right? It's a hard math class. It is quantitative business essentials 2, a very like high level like statistics class I have to take to get my degree. 77% of my grade comes from a total of 3 exams. Just three exams, okay? Just three. That's it. That's all it takes for me to like get 3/4 of my grade is 3 exams. 2 main exams, which I just took my second one, and then the final exam, which is 27% instead of 25. Now, that means you can just do shit on the homework, but if you do bad on the homework, then you do bad on the exam usually. So like, I make sure to always do the homework and like actually like watch the videos that teach you how to do it. And then when it comes time for the exam, I look over the definitions that he wants us to look over, and then I look over the study guide that he provides and like last time, like, I just scored a 70 on this recent exam, and I scored an 80 on the first exam. That's mainly because he gave everybody an extra 10%. So in reality, I scored like 270s pretty much, but he was kind enough to give me another 10%. So, but because I did only okay on 2 exams, I went from an 88% to like an 80% flat in this class. It's still good in passing, but now I have to try even harder on the final because it's cumulative. So like all the topics from the whole semester are covered, including 3 new modules we have yet to learn. So now I have to be a little bit more careful, but I know how to study and I know what to study. So as long as I make sure to do that, I make sure to do it properly. I ain't got nothing to worry about because you just gotta get good. But, as long as you're like comfortable with that, like, and it only happens like once a month or so, with that kind of pressure for that kind of class. So as long as you're comfortable with that kind of stuff, then like it is a lot easier than high school. But there are like my marketing class is a lot more like high school and like middle school and all that, where it's like the way the grade structure is set up, you get like 40% of your grade comes from your exams, but there's 5 exams. So there's only like, there are only 8%, including the final exam is in those 5. So it's only 8% per exam. And then your homework accounts for like 12.5%. The in-class attendance and activities count for 12.5%. And then the other like activities she has you to do, like these discussion posts and like some of these worksheets, they count for like a decent chunk too. So like as long as you do like decent in all of them, you will get like a B or something. So you have enough like lenience to like kind of like not have to take it so seriously all the time, but you still have to like try. And as long as you try, you do good in that class. You just have to put in a little bit of effort, and it goes a long way. But it's just as long as you can handle the pressure for stuff like that with those big exams that count for a lot, then like high school is harder than college in that aspect. Like that's it. Like as long as you handle that pressure, you will have a much better time in college than in high school, hands down. You don't have to go to parties every day if you don't want to, but like, you know, you can just actually have a chance to enjoy what you want to enjoy if you can actually like live out by yourself and be independent. And now, if you handle the pressure of being an adult, you handle the responsibilities, and you get the rewards of being an adult. as in you get a lot more independence and freedom, and like you get a much better chance of actually finding out shit that you enjoy, rather than having to worry about your parents or like other shit. Like you get like a lot better chance and a lot more time to enjoy stuff that you actually want to try and enjoy. And it's a great place to learn and meet a bunch of different people, and it's fun too. Like, and of course, obviously, like school isn't fun by default, like actually going to class, but a lot more tolerable than high school, mainly because, well, it's mainly because of COVID. But and it's kind of like that. I think it was even like this before COVID, but I only go into all my classes 5 times per semester. So like I'm pretty much near the end of my semester, so I only go to my accounting class like one more time, and I go into my other 3 classes like 2 more times a piece, and then I'm done with the semester, and then it's just studying for finals for the rest of the semester for like 2 weeks. So that's really good. So you don't always have to like get up and go to like a really hard schedule or something. You just kind of take it easy a little bit, and don't have to like try really hard in college, but you do have to try. But it doesn't have to be like literally like throwing your whole like social life away to like do good, because you can manage them. It's just harder to do, but you absolutely can manage it. Now I'll see how my opinion changes in a couple of weeks if I get this internship. 'Cause I'll be working like 15 to 25 hours a week, so we'll see if I actually have enough time to do a job and to like study and to do classes and to stream. But I'm pretty sure I will because I know how to study, so I'm a lot more efficient at it. And like, you know, they're usually not too hard anyway, so what I do too is like the classes that I know are like a good bit easier. I really try harder on those because it's easier to get an A. So that way on my harder classes, like my math class, for example, like I'm doing good in management, so I think I could get an A in that class. And then if I get an A in that class, that means I could reasonably get a C in business essentials and like, still keep my 3.0 or higher GPA because I have to have it for my scholarship too to retain it. Because if you do too poorly, then they just take away your 100% tuition scholarship. But it goes off your cumulative GPA, so I actually don't have anything to worry about because you just have to meet the credit hours. So because I did really good in the fall semester, like a couple of months ago, I can afford to do a little bit worse in the spring semester. I just can't like throw basically. Like I still have to make sure I pass my classes with at least a C. But as long as I do that, like I win. Like, I'll get my degree soon enough, and then I can kind of go out and just go start my life. So we'll replant these a little later. I actually need I need a spare shulker box for wood. Not gonna lie, but as long as you're a responsible adult, or at least you like genuinely make the effort to be in college, and like you're good at handling like some pressure, then like it will be a lot easier than high school. But you have to be like good at being independent for it. That's the key thing. You have to be good at being independent because if you can't, and you're not going to do too well because no one's going to be there to like wake you up and make sure that you're going to class. Because you don't have to go to class, but if you'd like to lose like a quarter of your grade, please be my guest. But you know, you shouldn't have to because again, I only go 5 times in this semester. I've only missed one class because I really wasn't feeling that well that day, so I just chose not to go. And guess what? They give you a makeup assignment, so if you miss one class, for example, it's okay because you can just do the makeup assignment and get the credit back. So like it's still okay. You just can't do it all the time. And you should try and save it for when you're sick and you can actually document it. But if you're like really just not feeling like going that day because you're too tired or whatever, then just don't go, and that's okay. But yeah, it's free points, so go to class as often as you can, honestly, when they ask you to, because it's an easy extra like bit of your grade. So that I think we're about done here for today. I'm gonna like go smelt up the rest of that sand, hopefully. Oh, the turtles hatched? Oh shoot, wait. I should check. The hell? That's sand. I put some turtle eggs down here a while ago. I don't know if they'll hatch. Maybe they won't hatch when they're in kind of a weird spot to be fair. So what we'll do is we'll put that one there, and then we'll put that one there. But yeah, as long as you're good at being responsible as a college student, man, like it's fun. like I don't have as much struggles as I did in high school with having to deal with people because people are a lot like kinder and a lot more respectful, in college and like, you know, even if they aren't, then that's okay because you're not ever gonna really see them again. And even if you do after that, then like, well, they can't do nothing. So, oh, it's just it's this thing that I use called Twitch Soundtrack, and it's just basically from like the jazz station. So it's not really like a playlist that I have. It's just one that Twitch has, so that way I don't get like a DMCA, like copyright strike, all that kind of deal. So it's nothing really too special. It's just kind of on in the background for ambience. But I've been thinking about switching it back over to Minecraft music, but it just doesn't happen enough. So I don't know. But it's just the jazz stuff on the Twitch soundtrack. So it's pretty solid. But this specific song is Miss BB by the AP Project, out of the blue, and yeah, pretty good. And it's just there more for like ambience and background noise than anything else. So, uh, you can usually find that just about anywhere on like YouTube or again on there. And that's quite a good bit of glass. We get another batch, yep. We got another shulker box we can go. Now, how much do these ones are empty? I'm gonna put these away. And then we'll go ahead and start splitting this sand up in here, so. Good. Here we go. And we got another couple of stacks, so we'll go ahead and just dump 3 of them there. 2 in there. And then we're gonna have to go get more lava. But yeah, college ain't really too hard. It's pretty fun, so. Oh yeah, no problem. Like, trust me, I hated high school when I was growing up because it just sucked. And also, I kind of never got along with anybody because I didn't really like too many people. But once you get out of high school, it does get a lot better. You just kind of have to hold out until the end of it, and then, you do have to actually make sure you like get good grades in high school because I had such a high GPA when I was leaving high school, and also because of my college experience too. I got because I had that full ride tuition too, because it all changed together. As I had all those things, I got pretty much guaranteed, and it wasn't obviously guaranteed, but like they would be kind of stupid to turn me away at that point because it's free money for them, and I actually like, did prove myself to like actually be like capable. But I pretty much got a free like 100% ride to like any state or any state in the college, excuse me, any college in the state of Florida. Could have gone anywhere. Could have gone to University of Miami. Could have gone to like University of like Florida. Like went to FIU. Could have went anywhere I wanted to, and they would have just no questions asked. Just would have pretty much let me in. But I didn't. I just chose to go to like UCF out there in Orlando. Because Orlando's funny. They got Universal. That's pretty much about it. And to be quite honest, I literally have no idea why I chose this place. I'm gonna be completely real. But I don't regret that I did. I just don't know why I did it. Because I had anywhere else in the state I could have gone to. I just chose to go here for some reason. Which ain't a bad thing again, but like, I had other options, so. And it's always good to have other options, but as long as your GPA is like above like a 3.0, you really got nothing to worry about getting into college. Like, you got a high GPA, you maybe land a scholarship or two to help pay for it, and then like you're set. Like, pretty much anybody would take you. You just have to be reasonable. Like, if you want to go to like an Ivy League school or something, then sure, go for it. But let me tell you, they probably won't accept you. Nothing personal. They're just like ridiculously picky, and honestly, the hype is overrated for them to be real. Like, as long as you get a degree from like a nice like accredited university, it ain't got to be an Ivy League school. It's just got to be a school that's like kind of out there and is kind of known. Isn't just some like, and hell, it doesn't even matter what school. To be perfectly honest, as long as you get the degree, because that curriculum is usually pretty standard among like every like college or something like that, because they're all like equivalent to some extent. But as long as you get the degree and like you actually know what you're doing when you have the degree, you're fine. Like, is all you go to school for. Is that a zombie? that a zombie? Wait a second. I think I might have just misheard that one. But if that's a zombie, that's kind of serious because I thought I had everything lit up. So, but I guess regardless of that, it's just kind of just keep holding out for high school, like, and then just wait till college. But it does get a lot better. Like college is fun, but you have to be an adult to make sure you can actually manage yourself properly because nobody else is gonna do it for you this time. So as long as you're good at that kind of stuff, you literally have nothing to worry about. Because the classes are set up in a way where, like, as long as you follow the rubric and you do what you're supposed to on any given assignment, by again, follow the goddamn rubric, it is there for a reason, okay? So follow the rubric, and if you do that, and you just show up to class, you at least try, and you make like an active, visible effort that you're trying, they're willing to help you, or at least be a little bit more lenient. But these classes are done in a way where as long as you show up and try at your classes and you just do your little bits of studying, you may not get an A exactly the whole time, but you will pass. And you will get your degree pretty comfortably with like at least a 3.0 GPA, no sweat, as long as you at least try a little bit and you just make sure to try and study just a little bit. You don't have to go completely all in on it. You don't have to give up your whole social life for it, but you do have to spend like a good bit of time just studying and just actually putting in some effort. So you don't have to completely sweat to like, give up everything to go study, but you do actually have to try a little bit. But it's really not too hard, so don't worry about it too much. But also it depends what you're going for, because like if you want to be like, a doctor, that one you got to try a lot harder because you got to know a lot more. And if you like, you also got to make sure you pick a good degree too. Like, I actually wanted to be wanted to have a computer science degree, right? But there were a couple of issues when I was taking classes to get my computer science degree. First of all, upon further inspection, they wanted me to take Physics 3 to learn how to program because I wanted to use this degree to program, which it's not really for that specifically. Like it can be used for that, but a lot more general than that. So I goofed up on that part. Also, I'm not like I'm good at math, but it's like algebra math, not like physics math. That stuff does not sit with me, or like calculus. Not good at that. I learned that one the hard way when I took engineering in ninth grade, but and 10th grade. Um, but the other problem too with computer science is, well, because I wanted to be a programmer, you also have to know how to code. Guess what I didn't know how to do, and that I was not really like that capable of learning how to do in that short amount of time. Would you like to take a guess? I'm sure you would love to. But yeah, I don't know how to code. And that's again a bad issue to have when you're trying to go to school to learn how to code. So left that one out pretty quickly, and then luckily I had a backup where I went to an accounting, and then I also decided that like accounting's good, but the problem is I don't want to be locked into accounting for the rest of my life in case I don't want to be an accountant. That's what you have an accounting degree for, is to be an accountant. So I switched over to finance just recently, and luckily it's pretty much the exact same as accounting, so I didn't really lose any progress. But it's been great so far. Like I'm really enjoying it. Like there's a lot more like different stuff. Like I'm learning about like management and marketing skills and things of that nature. And it's nice, And I can do a lot with this degree too. And like I have pretty solid job security, like because companies are always going to need somebody to manage, their finances and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not losing my job anytime soon, like automation or something like that. But unfortunately, those are things you have to keep in mind at some point, but not really like a whole bunch. All right, what the restock, dude? Restock, do it. Restock, do it. Do it. Restock, man. Come on. But college is fun. You just got to get good at being an adult, and you will have fun, and it'll be great. And again, like going to class is never fun, obviously, but you got to do it to actually be able to stay in college. And again, it's for your actual job that you're going to be having in the future. So it's just important to have. But it's, once you get the hang of it, it's really no big deal. At least it wasn't for me, but I kind of had to, like, I had to grow up a little bit faster. I didn't really get to have too much of a childhood, so which it ain't that big of a deal anymore now, but definitely helps me out a bit now, but I certainly would have not done it again. But yeah, just you know, keep it up in high school. Just kind of hold out and, you know, kind of keep your grades up because it's really 11th and 12th grade that matters because that's when they start actually like really looking at your GPA. And that's also when you have to start thinking about the ACTs or the SATs. And then, like, you know, scholarships can take years to get if you're not careful. So you can't, like, you can never start those too early on, ironically. They suck. They suck to apply for and they suck to try and, like, especially the essay ones. They have ones that are like, you won't even be considered for it, no matter how great you are and how like much you actually need it. If you don't like write like an essay for some of these people, and it's just kind of, I don't know, man. It's disrespectful. It's some like little side piece you have to write, and it's like, oh please, I need this money because I plan on being like president of the United States. I'm gonna fix literally everything because I'm such a great person. Like no, like it's just like it's just it's disingenuous. It's disrespectful. I have no respect for it. Now, it can be free money if you at least try, but I personally wouldn't know because I really have never tried those. I don't intend on trying those because, again, don't like them. So, and plus, I don't actually need to. I get enough scholarships from like UCF and also from Bright Futures to where I'm like I'm pretty okay on money for actually financing this stuff. But that's because I half of it's skill, but all of it's luck. 'Cause again, you can have as much skill in like, you know, your education and all that stuff as you want, but if you don't know where to go and you're not in the right place at the right time, and you don't know the right people, it won't do you squat to be like really good at studying. So you have to always make sure that you're kind of like out there enough to where you can get those chances to be lucky, you know? And that doesn't always happen. Like I was lucky enough to get kicked out of high school to actually go do full-time dual enrollment. That's helped me like get into college a lot easier because I've already had previous college experience and they like it when you like, you know, have stuff like that. So like, and then also with my scholarship that I got too was basically free money for the college. So you know they like that too. So that's why I got to go anywhere I wanted to. But you got to put an effort for all that stuff. Like they won't hand it to you, but at the same time, like if you are in the right place, you'll have it a lot easier than other people will. I'm very lucky to be where I'm at right now because like this internship I'm trying to get, I don't need this internship to like, you know, live and like afford to eat and that kind of stuff. But that's because I'm like very fortunate and lucky to be able to do that because you know, scholarships and the, you know, Bright Futures one only cover so much. Like I can cover my tuition and all that stuff just fine and like most of my housing, but like some of my housing, which is like an extra $1,700, I can't cover, and like my food, I can't cover that really without a job. So I'm very lucky that my mom's actually paying for a lot of that stuff. Not a lot, she's paying for all that stuff that I can't pay for with my scholarships. So, because she actually didn't want me really getting a job quite yet, because you know I'd be like 17 or 18 with a job and doing full-time college work, and like it is quite a lot of stress, but I think I'm a little bit more ready for it now, so that's why I'm gonna actually give it another shot. But also finding a job is hard too, honestly. I don't want to pillar up for these. I know I should have just burned them. They don't count unless you actually like oh man. So if you like break a leaf or something with a silk touch and you place it, it doesn't decay anymore. So that's why that's like that. But just just get good at being an adult and like at least put in some effort. You don't have to put in a whole bunch of effort and throw your life away, but you gotta at least try in college, but it is easier than high school as long as you know what you do. And just learn how to study. Oh hey, a lightning strike, that's not good. As long as you know how to study, which again ain't really too hard, it's just study what they tell you to study and then just kind of get good at like understanding how exams work and all that. Once you figure that stuff out, like you know, it's a lot easier. Yeah, it's like a toilet, that's crazy, but yeah, I mean it's you know, it's pretty solid. Here I live in a decent enough dorm, you know, I got nice roommates, all that kind of stuff, so but again, half of it's luck, the other like all of it is luck too, so you can be skilled in some parts of it, but a lot of it does boil down to luck to some extent. But if you definitely are more skilled and you have like better grades than like a lot of other people near you, then like, you know, you will have a much easier time getting some of this stuff. But again, some of it is like, and a lot of it too actually is about having the right connections to people and like knowing like what the hell is available to apply for your scholarships and all that. Because like, 'cause I mean, I did qualify for Bright Futures, but had I not known that I'd like that was even a thing that was offered, and I didn't know that that was something I had to be working towards, which I did, but like if I didn't, then that would have been like probably like $30,000 to $40,000 worth of college education I would have missed out on because I didn't like I just wasn't aware of it, you know. So it's always important to like try and like actually really dig deep and find that stuff. And if you can't find it online, because you kind of can't really online, because they're very fucking weird about that, then like find somebody in person that you know who's already had to deal with this before and ask for their help. Is God, it is a painful process to get scholarships, and you're gonna need them. Like, I mean, hey, if your dad's like, Bill Gates or something, you don't need it. Please, by all means, let me know too. But like, otherwise, you're gonna need it because even if you are pretty well off for your family, like $100,000 to go to like a half decent college is still like a lot of money. You know, that's just a tuition. You still have to pay for your housing and like your food, but your tuition and your God books are the biggest fucking scam. Take your high school books for granted because yeah, they're free and they are shit, but it's better because they're free. Now the college textbooks are shit, but they're not free, so it's not even funny anymore. So it's like, what the hell? It's genuinely not fucking funny. So that's why you get good at well, I can't really say it, but you know exactly what I'm referring to, about being thrifty, We'll go with that. Sure. We'll go with that one. Alright. If you know where to look for that stuff too, you can find anything for a very good price. So as long as you know where to look and it's pretty easy to find it nowadays, because wow, guess what? You have the internet. That's crazy. You can learn this shit a lot better through the internet, either through tutoring or like, anything. God, I have got to make these mountains better. Like I want this whole thing like to be padded out in the back, and I want them to be thicker. And then once the mountains are built, I'll probably tear into some of them a little bit because I also kind of want like some other like building or structure up in here, like an actual like generic like 2012 Minecraft castle kind of deal. And then this part can be like a little bit more like city based and all that. And then these large like flat parts, like this will be like a walkway for like some like city buildings and stuff like that because that's actually kind of what these are too. But a lot of these flat parts near the bottom will be for like farming and things of that nature. Um, and then the like very like jutted, like the very like jagged ones will be for like some kind of building structure I'll do. Like some maybe building here, some farming or something like that. Like this would be a really good strip for like just carrots and wheat or something like that too. And then you have some buildings kind of baked into here and some more grass, but it should be kind of like one of those like cooler like urban cities where it's like still a city objectively, or more like a because it's smaller, it would be more like a village, but it should still be a very good mix of like man-made stuff, but actual like greenery and like natural stuff. I want it to blend together nicely in a way that actually looks like good. Also, I have to wait on these clowns to grow, so they might take a while. But I think that's gonna do it for today, honestly, because I'm getting kind of tired. It has also been 3.5 hours. And this is probably the most I've talked for this long in a long time, to be honest. Because wow, I am not used to this, but I did kind of go off on a tangent about college. So sorry about that if it's not very interesting, but it's interesting to me on account of being a college student, and it's kind of it's good advice if you're getting ready to go to college too. So it helps, but I appreciate it. But I'm done for tonight. We got our sand smelting up in here. I think these are all like put away. Yeah, that's good. All right, we'll go ahead and turn that off. And then for next time, we'll have another like couple of shulker boxes of glass, and it's been pretty good. So yeah, I mean, hopefully it was helpful too, man. I mean, I don't know how much use you can really get out of that kind of rant or tangent, but I mean, hey, whatever works. You just got to figure out what it means to really like be an adult before you have to be an adult because you don't want to get caught off guard too hard. So got to be a little careful with that. But college is better than high school as long as you can handle some things. It's very fun. And on that note, I'm gonna go like eat because I'm hungry again. I think I'm gonna go cook a pizza or some chicken or something. Also, it's 3 a.m. So, but yeah. On that note, good night and good luck, and I hope to catch you guys next time. Bye bye.